me and Ryan have been officially welcomed to the jungle that is Barstool Sports.
I brought it towards the Coyotes, and I asked them if it was okay if I joined the Spittin Chiclets podcast full time.
Ryan Whitney's got a pink Whitney out there now.
Hey, this is a sandbagger. Get that on camera.
Heethuis, the song man, hey, is a full-time member.
Marley just got an assist from Chris B.
Whoa, we're buzzing right now. Sonk.
What is up, folks? Welcome to episode 591 of the Spittin Chiclets podcast. Tough show. I mean, we had some devastating news that just hit. It kind of started this weekend. Nick Mangold, I know he's a legendary football player for the New York Jets, and an all-time guy from everything I've heard that was a part of Barstool Sports in different ways here and there. He passed away. He had let the world know he needed a kidney transplant. I didn't know if it was immediate or not, and then he ends up passing away. Horrible news. And then we just find out, 20 minutes ago, I opened up my phone, and we see that Cody, Franke, known as Beef, passed away this weekend as well. So it's kind of hard to do these shows right after you hear these news. For people who don't know Beef, he joined the Foreplay golf podcast and brand with Barstool, I don't know, a year ago, maybe longer, and just a gentleman, like the nicest guy in the world. I don't know if people have seen clips. Every time he met someone, he took his hat off. He was at the Internet Invitational. Awesome. That was supposed to, hats off for Beef. And yeah, it's just shocking. I just opened up Twitter. I was like, what the fuck? And it's just heartbreaking. So we have to shout that guy out. Thinking of all the Foreplay guys, everyone at Barstool, seen tweets from everyone just talking about this guy was the nicest person you ever meet. I'm not even joking right now. I met this guy for the first time and asking me about Chiclets, how it began, about how much I love golf. And Franke wrote something about he had taught golf, was an instructor, and was brought on by Portnoy, and the guy just was happy seeing people enjoy golf and meeting people. And it's just a shitty day, really shitty day to see that. So, Biz, I know you got to meet him. Keith, you got to meet him at in the Ozarks as well.
Yeah, I golfed him at the Ryder Cup, just like everything is described, man. Like the nicest guy in the world, such a kind heart, loved obviously playing golf, and funny guy. He just lit up a room, and there's no wonder why the Foreplay guys added him, because he's such a beauty, the common man. You mentioned, like, every time he would meet someone, he would take his hat off and shake their hand, look them dead in the eye, and just the common man, right? And going back to Nick Mangold, like, obviously this weekend it had happened, right? And you just see all of the Barstool crowd. Like, I don't think he ever worked hand in hand with Barstool, but the amount of times he would come into the office and collaborate, and just like this, all pro football player, giving people at Barstool not only the time of day, but like, befriending them. And you could see how much he meant to the Barstool family and community as well, just from like reading everybody's messages. So just like the weekend, kind of with that happening, and then waking up and reading the Beef news, like, that's just Barstool is a big family and a major component to like the why Spittin Chiclets even exists. So we feel like we've lost two very important family members over the last few days. So brutal.
Yeah.
It's gone way too young. Mangold, 4 kids. So it's you got to live every day to the fullest, guys. You never know what's coming. It's fucking brutal.
Yeah. And that, that's an amazing way to put it. Like, I know I've said this when we've talked on this show before about people passing away, and whether it's a friend, a relative, and someone you barely know. It's like you wake up and something's bugging you at work, and then you feel bad. You're taking something out on your kids, and then you're just like, you see something like this, you're like, Jesus Christ! It puts everything into perspective in a crazy, sad way. And like you said, you live every day to your fullest. You got no clue what's coming tomorrow or later that day. And it's just so shitty to see him come into Barstool, make an immediate impact with Foreplay and all the videos they do and all the enormous reach they have all over the internet for people who love golf. And everyone liked the guy. He was just a friendly, good person. Like a guy you'd want to work with. And it sucks. And we want to shout out his family and all his work family. And it's a tough way to start the show. And, we have a long show, a lot of stuff to get to. It's hard to kind of get right back into things when you're discussing something like this. But there was no way we weren't going to lead the show off with kind of remembering or trying to discuss two guys that meant a lot to so many different people in this world. So rest in peace, Nick Mangold, and as well, Barstool Beef. It's going to be hard for Foreplay to get over this, obviously, and we're thinking of those guys. So,
and I think everything too that is said about Nick and Beef is how good of people they were, how they treated other people, and I think we can all take from that, right? It's a lot easier to be a nice person than it is to be a dickhead, and those guys did it the right way. I didn't know Nick Mangold, obviously, big fan of what he did. He was an amazing player, but when you see like Rex Ryan the other day talking about him, he didn't even mention him as a player. He just mentions him as how good of a person he is, give you the shirt off his back type of guy. And then Beef, who I got the chance to meet him twice, and like you guys said, man, salt of the earth guy, just wanted to be around people. And you could tell him being a part of the Barstool family and with the Foreplay guys, like he was at home, like he was a part of something that was, his love was golf. His love was, giving back to the game. And he did that, and he did it with a smile on his face. So I think we all got to take a little of that from those guys and just be happy that, we're here, we're doing what we love, and just continue to be great people.
Yep. The golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated. And that those two guys live that way from everything we've heard about Nick and from meeting Beef. So, moving on, as weird and hard as it is, I was very, very happy on a good note here. RA, he sounded better than he has in years. And I want to thank everyone listening. Whether you like RA or don't like RA, I think everyone was really happy for him. And that's like a pretty cool thing to see, because the clearness in his voice and just having him back, it means a lot. And I guess like something like this, it kind of makes you think even more how grateful, especially I am, because like this show began with me and RA on his couch sharing a microphone, and every single person is going through something. Like, it doesn't matter if you know what they're going through or you don't. Everyone's battling something. RA had a tough go of it for a while, and there was no chance that we were gonna leave him hanging. And it's pretty cool now. He comes on, he gets to talk about what he wants to talk about, and I really appreciate everyone kind of understanding where we're coming from and what RA was going through, and being able to just be happy for the guy back doing what he loves to do, because he does love doing this. And the whole time we knew that, it was just fighting other battles that was making that hard for him. And I was very excited to have him back and get to move forward with his RA's world on Friday's episode. And so I'm really happy, and I'm sure you guys were pumped to get him back on and chat with him, right, Biz?
Oh, buddy, it was awesome. Like I've said it before, when like RA's in the mix and he's the best version of himself, like that's when we're all at the best of our capabilities. And he's the founding father. And I think that, like, ultimately you kind of touched on it. Like, you have to be happy for someone who's just in a better place, and he clearly is, and he's thriving, and he's going to continue to do so. And it's awesome. Like I couldn't be happier for him. And like you said, you could just see it in his face and hear it in his voice. And and thank you to everybody who was very receptive and who reached out to him, whether it was via DM or on Twitter. Like, that means a lot to the guy. Like, it's hard. Like, this is like away from his personal life. Like, this is his identity. It's who he is. It's where he likes to express himself. And like, people need that, and they need that void in their life. And I'm just happy that he's back in the mix, loving hockey, following hockey, and back buzzing again. What about you, Jans?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've known RA a long time. His dad and my grandfather were firemen together. Actually, good little story. When we were at at Chiclets Cup, one of the guys on my team, I don't know if you'd want me to say his name, but he was having some troubles, getting clean and sober, and he went into a halfway house, and he's good now. But RA's mom walked in, and he was like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "Oh, that's RA's mom." He's like, "Holy shit!" He's like, "That woman saved my life. If it wasn't for her, she took me in, took care of me. Fucking." He was like, "I was so bad, but she stuck with me. I think she ran like an outpatient house or something like that." And he was like, "If it wasn't for her, I'd be gone." So just goes to show you what type of family he comes from. His dad's an amazing guy. Leo's the man. And yeah, like you guys said, seeing him the other day, just talking, laughing, just being on the pod, right? Because at the end of the day, I was a fan before, you guys let me in here, and I missed having him on here, just like everybody else. And just to see him back, happy, talking his shit, talking about, I don't know how he thinks Charlestown has the most influential place for music. I'm not sure where.
How did we not say anything about that?
I love.
We were letting him roll first day, but next time he's getting called up.
I also agree with him on the birthday week thing. I agree with him.
Coming from the guy who threw a month-long party. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Also,
one weekend. See you later. Bye bye.
I don't know any guys who do birthday weeks. I know that's a girl thing. Birthday months, even. I'm not a big guy. I don't know any guys who are like.
I'm not getting accused of doing a whole week, am I?
No. Weekend.
No. Buddy,
I'm not.
It was a weekend. People were traveling from Vancouver. Yance, are you accusing me of being a weak birthday guy?
Weekend.
Joseph and the Technicolor raincoat.
Where do you sit with the weekend?
Oh, dude, I love birthdays. I like other people's birthdays more than mine because it gets a little
absolutely.
Old. But I'm a huge birthday guy. I love birthdays.
All right, I thought that was a shot.
Remember, Biz, RA. I mean,
no.
The topic of yoga came up, and he said there's a wicked lot of farting during yoga, right? Like that's what he thought about yoga. That's when you have a one-of-one human being that you're dealing with when you think of farting with yoga. So shout out RA.
I did go to yoga yesterday, and I did let a few squeakers out. So I think that RA also has a point there.
Okay, now you're diving too deep into just the agreeing with RA thing. Like I know you're not dropping bombs on purpose at yoga, and I don't even think you went to yoga.
We discuss everything that he's going to talk about.
We have to do whatever
That's the new show.
Yeah.
It's just not calling him out at the time.
Why do you think he picked the Leafs? I'm in his ear, baby. I'm the little puppeteer. No, he's his own human. He's a fun. I also love his new background too. He's got going like the ladies' room thing. A little weird.
Ladies' room thing.
I mean, but hey, that's what we like around here. We like our weirdos. But no.
Everyone has to give their favorite thing in his background.
I'll say my favorite. I don't think it was in the background, but my favorite thing about RA, and I think it's still his Twitter profile picture, is when he went to a wrestling event when he was a kid and he had a Polaroid camera. And I guess Andre the Giant loved, like, he would always make extra time for the kids. It was all about the kids. And he went up to RA, and RA snapped this picture of Andre the Giant as he's keeled over him. And can we pull it up? Like, and then also RA, I think he had a disposable or was in a photo that was taken at this venue where the Rolling Stones were very early in their career. So RA has kind of found himself in these very iconic photos. Are we able to bring up the photo of him and Andre the Giant? I know I'm putting production.
I like did you see the Krusty? He didn't even mention the Krusty the Clown like figurine up top was classic.
Yeah.
I would say 25% of my DMs I get about RA are, how did you not get this Simpsons reference? We need RA back because we need more Simpsons talk. So his Simpson stuff is above and beyond with some of our listeners. Now, what did you see on there, Jans?
My favorite one was because he's from Charlestown and people from Charlestown love being from Charlestown, which it's the best. He had a printed out picture of the monument with a flag instead of like, it was just on a piece of paper instead of like getting it actually printed out from an actual place. Oh, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Sick.
That's one of them. But I think that his he has another one where he ended up snapping it. Where look, that's RA right there, bottom right. That's how young he
Boston
was.
is that kid in the Boston shirt.
Oh yeah, that's a Boston.
RA snuck in there. He didn't even know those other kids. He just snuck in.
Yeah. We'll get the other photo, and if
Even
not,
at that age, RA like stole one of his beers. Andre the Giant, like the beers look like this big in his hand. He's like, "Where's the 32nd
like
one?"
Tic Tacs.
RA's 7 drinking it.
yeah, they look like Tic Tac. So,
Oh my
He
god!
said he snuck into a Oasis concert, right? On his.
No, I
No,
think
when
he
he
had
was
tickets to that. They were VIP and he didn't know it.
Oh, okay.
that's pretty iconic that RA
That
snapped
is
that.
sick.
I know.
It's a fucking sick photo. He should be a photographer. So that's my favorite thing about him. He also doesn't have his license, right?
No, he does because he drove Pasha once, and Pasha went to therapy after it because it was like an 8-minute ride too. I think he was like filming it too, and he was like, "All right, that was a stop sign." He just ripped right through it.
Can we get Pasha on to not talk about the Devils? I don't want to hear about we need a week or at least an episode break of Pasha, his nonsense of the Crosby thing obviously went viral, but can we have Pasha on just to talk about the ride he had with RA behind the wheel?
Oh, yeah. Like Whit said, I'll never forget it. This guy was honking at people, motherfucking people, blowing stop signs. Like, I'm like, Jesus, all right. Like, where is this coming from? We were driving from Fenway back to like the hotel that we were staying at. This was in Boston, obviously. And yeah, it was like a 15-minute drive, but changed my life forever. Not in a good way.
We should do a show where RA, what's the one where they did the trivia in the back of the taxi?
Oh, the cash cab?
Cash cab.
Yeah.
You should do an RA cash cab, but he has to drive and ask the questions.
And if you win, you don't get money. You get like memorabilia from his house. So you'll get like toilet paper Pedro used.
I bet we would get some Looney Tunes signing up
yeah.
to do that. Oh, but
I'll
it's
sign
all
up.
hockey trivia.
No, anything because he loves.
Who is the
everything.
greatest passer of all time? You're like Wayne Gretzky. He's like, eh.
Phone a friend.
You film or phone a friend, but it goes to Gigi. Only goes to that G.
No, it just goes to Coop. And Coop's like, who the fuck keeps calling me? Shout out Coop. Hey, Lightning 2 in a row. They got Vegas yesterday, so they're starting to climb back. They're starting to climb
grinds. Back. Yeah, they grind
last cleaning up quickly is the Internet Invitational is actually going to start tomorrow. So it was delayed a day, and so check that out. Starts tomorrow. And before hockey biz, what a baseball city you got in Toronto, huh? I mean, I know it's 1-1, and that Yamamoto, I believe his name was insane on.
Oh God,
that was last.
He's
night,
doing
right?
he's doing fucking Sudoku puzzles in the dugout and just going out and throwing gas. Like you can't.
No, I think he's kind of like Matthew Fitzpatrick, the golfer, for about 6 years now, has written down a description on every single shot he has hit. Range, tournaments, rounds for fun. He literally hits a shot and then writes down what it felt like, the feeling. And that's what that guy does in between innings. He's writing down how his arm felt, what pitches he likes. He does the same exact thing, I guess. And that's what he was doing in the dugout there.
Does he reread it, or is it more just to like allow him to like let it go?
I think Fitzpatrick goes back to it a lot. Like if he's struggling, he'll go back to like feels and thoughts he had. I don't know about Yamamoto's because I'm guessing it's probably in Japanese, so nobody knows besides him and his buddies and maybe his agent. But it's pretty cool. Like people do things different ways. That guy and in classic Yankees. I think they wouldn't go above 300 million. It was like another 25 million or maybe 50 they had to spend. But who cares at that point? They could have had that guy. He's a machine. Absolute
I thought he was just doing like the crossword puzzle out of the newspaper. Like I'm just throwing gas. I'm a little bored with these guys, these bats right now. But shout out to Toronto. I mean, game one, I watched the full game and it was electric. A lot of ups and downs. They were down early, and then the bats came alive. Where, I mean, not too often in a World Series will you see. I think it was 12 batters they got to in one inning. Yeah. 11 or 12. So anytime you're seeing the same guy up twice, it's usually a good sign, right?
Yeah. And that city is that place seems bonkers. Like
it's one of those stadiums where I feel like they spend enough and they're relevant enough where it looks pretty full most games, at least like the Canada Day game, the first series they have to kick things off. But when it's not fully packed, it doesn't really, you're kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
But when that place is packed and with the CN Tower and the fact that the roof can come, like, I know it's old, but it's, I think it's an iconic stadium. And, that's where Carter got it done, and they won 2 World Series. So they're in one, though. This team is incredible, right? So I would actually be at Game 7 if it went to Game 7.
No way.
Yeah, so I'm
It
really
ain't going
pushing
to
for it.
7.
What's that?
It's going to 5.
If they get one there, it's going 7.
Yeah,
They'll come back down 3-2 and they'll win Game 6.
It's 3 on the road, right? They have to play 3 in LA right
Which,
now.
by the way,
I like 2-3-2.
The NHL has to do that.
No, but they don't, because
I don't know, Biz. Like, when we were doing that Edmonton to Florida Chiclets air disaster, I would have loved 2-3-2.
I know, but owners would never go for it because of the gate, right? You want, if it goes to Game 5 and you don't, if you're the owner and you have home ice and you don't get the gate, that is, I mean, some of these buildings, man, I bet you Edmonton's popping $8 million a playoff game.
10 million, I bet.
Yeah. So you're giving away.
Don't they
why would
split it,
baseball be willing? You know what I mean? I guess maybe their gate is so much bigger throughout the year that it doesn't affect them the way. But still, actually, it would affect Toronto even more, considering a lot of their games, it's half full, right? Maybe I'm wrong saying that. It feels that way. So if they could get a Game 5, you think they wouldn't want this either. But the travel's better on the bodies and maybe the level of play for hockey.
I agree with that standpoint. Actually,
maybe just in the finals they should do it.
I hate to bring it back to the Calder Cup that I won. Not a big deal, but we did 2-3-2. Luckily for us, we won the first 2 games in overtime at home. But you drop one of those, man, all of a sudden, oof, I got to go 3 on the road now. So, I mean, they did it against Seattle, right? They actually dropped the first 2 and then went there and got 2 of 3. So, I just hope that it goes to 7 and I'm there for it. And before I could have gone to Game 6, but something pretty cool popped up. We've had Tom Green on before. Some of our younger listeners might not know who Tom Green is, but he's a legend, a Canadian legend for sure. Pretty much originated like the Jackass concept.
Yeah.
That ended up evolving in the United States. Like, he was doing that stuff early days and like fucking.
I didn't
with his
miss
parents.
any of the shows. They were incredible.
Yeah. Like the craziest one to me was when he had a professionally painted a woman completely spread eagle on the hood of his father's car, and the father came out to drive to work, and obviously he was so mad, like wouldn't
His
even
parents would lose his shit on him, dude.
The father would refuse to speak to Tom Green. He'd had it, walked to the bus stop, and Tom Green's got the mic in his face and the camera crew there at the bus stop, and then he drove the car over to the bus stop to be like, here's your car, just drive to work. So he was ahead of his time. He invited me. He's doing this new show where he films it all on his ranch. So he's got some ranch. I believe it's in between like Toronto and like in Ottawa area, like in that pocket. So going to go film with him, and I'm doing that Friday and then into Saturday morning, and then I'm flying there on Saturday. So hopefully there's Game 7 going on. But I just thought I'd let people know, like, I think Tom Green's a legend. We got a lot of Canadian listeners, so look out for that. And I don't know how we even got there.
I don't know. Toronto. And last thing, I just picturing myself in the past rooting for a blue and white team from Toronto in the playoffs. It's crazy, but I'm all in on the Jays. And I will say their logo of the little maple leaf is it
stunning.
It looks so good. It looks so good. So go Blue Jays, get it done. I think we should bring on Heater, right? Because the Utah Mammoth, you want to wait a second?
I think we bring him on.
He's on.
Yes.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I got to tell you, different people have reached out to me. They loved you the first time you came on. You crushed it. That story of being told to put the entire team on waivers was an all-time classic.
We're about to do it in Greensboro.
Not doing it.
We're about to do it in Greensboro.
You got to call everyone in Greensboro, Heater.
Yeah, we need a win.
Well, I'm glad that the first appearance was received pretty well. I guess I have a lot of friends and relatives around your audience that saw that and told me that they said it was good. So I appreciate that. And first of all, guys, today I understand that, you guys have suffered a tough loss today, and I'm sorry about that. And certainly my thoughts are with you.
Well,
Appreciate
thank you
you,
so much, Heethuis. And
You're the man.
you know the league. You know the Central Division. You really know the Utah Mammoth, and it's incredible what's happening right now. I mean, whether you want to talk about Logan Cooley on the hottest stretch I've seen, we got Nick Schmaltz, Clayton Keller's an incredible captain, and then the biggest thing that seems to not get mentioned because of the goal scoring, but this Vejmelka, he is lights out. Like, what's your takeaway on what they've done so far? And do you see this kind of continuing as we've seen so far? And shout out also Ryan Smith, who is just hammering the glass when they score big goals at home.
He's a glass banger.
He's a glass banger.
That's okay. If you drop $1 billion, you could be a glass banger.
You're the
right,
owner.
Heater?
You can do whatever you want if you drop $1 billion.
Yeah.
Even put the whole team on waivers.
Okay. All right. Well, Heater, like to throw it over to you, like I was on the fence about going Utah Mammoth in the playoffs, but you came on, you glazed them so hard. I'm like, I'm all in. I for sure they're at least getting a wild card. What have you seen so far? Because you're all eyes on them all the time.
Well, they're making me look good in October. I'll tell you, they're really hot right now. Obviously, they've won 7 in a row, and they've risen to the top of the Central Division and tied in points overall with New Jersey. And it's a big season for them. The last time we talked, we were all going back and forth. They really need to make the playoffs. Are they going to do it this year? There's still a long way to go, but you sure like what you see out of this Utah team, and particularly in their top 2 lines. I mean, they are unstoppable during this 7-game winning streak. The Cooley and Peterka and Gunther line, one of the fastest lines in the league, and they just continue to pour out points. In the first 3 games, when Utah was held down offensively on that opening road trip where they went 1-2, top line wasn't really getting into it. But since they started this 7-game homestand or 4-game homestand, 7-game winning streak, now both of the top lines are unstoppable. Clayton Keller, Nick Schmaltz. Schmaltz is co-leading the league in scoring with 16 points. And he's in the midst of putting up 8 points in his last 9 games, and it's been unbelievable. Actually, a 7-game point streak, I beg your pardon, for 13 points. So 13 of his last 16 points have been during this winning streak. So Nick Schmaltz, as we said earlier, in a contract year, he's always been a guy that is loaded with skill. He has had injury problems throughout his career, some bouts of inconsistency, but I'll tell you what, he played 82 games last year. He was healthy, had a career high 63 points. And this year, hopefully he'll be healthy throughout, and the sky's the limit for him because he's a really, really skilled player, and he and Keller just work so well together.
I love you bringing up that line of Peterka, Cooley, and Gunther, because if you go back to the winning goal, I believe it was yesterday against Winnipeg, Peterka's insane on the forecheck, causes a turnover. Cooley gets it, has one of the sickest passes of the season so far. For anyone that wants to go check this goal out, no look behind the back, gets it to Gunther, who buries a one-timer. I saw a tweet by Mike Kelly that mentioned Gunther leads the league in one-timers attempted with 29, one-timers on net with 19 shots on net, and 4 one-timer goals. You go back to the World Juniors when he had 7 goals that year. They won it. All 7 were one-timers. And you mentioned his shot. So did Bedard a couple times in interviews too, even though they don't obviously play together in the NHL. But this is a guy who's just a straight-up sniper. And if you have Cooley being able to dish like that, like I really don't see many times that they're going to get kept off the score sheet throughout this season.
11 of his last 17 goals have been game-winning goals. Like, and he's scoring huge goals for the team.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And what a bargain.
Oh, that was a great contract. I don't know if they're going to get the same with the guy setting him up, Logan Cooley. Day by day, him and Schmaltzy got Ryan Smith by the big old ball bag. And we know he's got a big
UFA
one.
Either, Biz.
What's that?
Schmaltz is UFA too, so that's even like...
So I guess that's part of the dilemma. And then we'll talk about a little bit of that later. But going back to Gunther, I think it was Bedard who was saying it's like you can't give him a bad pass either. His range, his bubble is huge. It's almost like Brett Hall-esque. like Brett Hall-esque. He was able to one-time everything. He had that big flex on it. I ain't saying he's Brett Hall, but he's on a hell of a trajectory the way that he can fucking shoot the pill. And going back to like the top line there too of Barrett Hayton, who was a 5th overall pick, and he had a couple shaky years up and down. They weren't really sure where he was going to fit in, but I feel like he has pretty good chemistry with Schmaltzy and Kells as well. So they kind of are in a situation like Dallas where, like, statistically, they have 2 first lines. You could go to either of those lines to be your first line at this point.
No question. You know, you talk about Barrett Hayton, he's kind of the lunch pail guy on that line with Schmaltz and Keller. But they played together for the last few years now, and they have great chemistry together. Hayton's good on the faceoffs. You know, he'll mix it up physically in the corners. He'll go to the front of the net. And I believe last year he scored 20 goals. So he's capable of scoring. He started the season injured and missed the first couple of games. So he's just kind of getting into it offensively. But that line is great. And going back to Gunther, one more thing about him, you know, when he sets up in that left circle, it's just unbelievable how quick he gets the shot off and how accurate it is with the velocity that he gets. And he says that he wants to get even better. He says that, you know, teams are kind of figuring him out a little bit, he thinks. So he's moving to different areas of the ice to get that one-timer off and not just to, you know, be pigeonholed to shoot it from the dot in the left circle. And he also says he wants to go to the net more. He feels like he's capable of not, you know, being kind of a perimeter player, but going to the net and scoring more goals that way. And if he can do that, I mean, the sky's the limit. I think this kid, you know, maybe not this year, but in his future, easily 40 goals, maybe 50, because his shot is so quick and he gets it off so quick and it's so fast and the accuracy is uncanny too.
Did you guys like the Brett Hall comparison, or should I walk off stage?
Yeah.
No, I see a guy who you could put it anywhere and he's adjusting and being able to get a quick shot off. Also, that picture, if you want to throw it back up quick, it's crazy to see how far his top hand is off his body there. I know that's like shooting and like the way you shoot has kind of changed over the years, but like to be able to have it that far out, I think that's what allows him to kind of get it wherever it is. If it's front foot or back foot, that and the amount of practice he's done over the course of his life, just mastering this snapshot one-timer. So it's crazy. It's a fun team to watch. I'm getting my list ready to release. Heater, I have a list of teams that I love to watch, and then teams I don't want to watch, and then teams I would never watch, kind of thing. Right? Utah, they're flying up there. And I love being able to kind of give it to Pasha a little bit, because if you forget or remember, the Devils passed on Logan Cooley. They decided to take Nemec second overall that year.
Whoopsie.
And Pasha's, he's doing the old, like, oh, we already had all our centermen. We were all set. It's like, buddy, I don't know, man. I see this kid play.
Can't have enough centermen.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Who would want too many good centers, right?
Cooley would look down the middle pretty good with Heethuis, huh?
Oh my God.
Oh.
Imagine those
Heater
on the same team.
The big question for me, and I know they got a big goal last game. Yamamoto made a great play to Cerrone, but their bottom six just hasn't been. I mean, they haven't had to, because the top six has been so good. And then they lost Kerfoot. He just had surgery, so it's like they got to go out and do something now, way before the trade.
I don't know, man. That maybe McBain in the third slot, but he's a piece of shit to play against. He's tough. Yeah. He'll fight anyone. Like, he's one of those guys that seems like he's grumpy showing up to the rink, but that's not the worst thing. Heater, I love Krauser. I wish that he had a little bit more of that meanness, but he skates like the wind. He forechecks. He can get hot. He's a 20-goal guy. I like how they brought in Tanev. Like, I think that they're like a few little moves away from being, like, at least for sure a playoff team, if not being able to go on a little bit of a run.
No question, Biz. And going back to what Yan said, I think that's a great point that you brought up. As good as the Utah Mammoth are right now, and as much as they're scoring, I still believe to get where they want to go, they've got to get that third line a little bit more involved offensively. And you talk about Lawson Krause, Jack McBain, and Michael Carcone, although Carcone scored the second goal last night in Winnipeg. But they play a really physical game. They play really well defensively, but they're capable of a lot more offensively. as Biz said, Lawson Krause is a 20-goal scorer. He scored, I believe, at least 20 or more in the last 3 seasons in Arizona. Jack McBain had his best offensive year last year, got into the teens in scoring goals. And Carcone was a 20-goal scorer the last year in Arizona. So those guys can really contribute offensively. And I think they're going to have to start doing that as the season goes on and, it becomes a grind.
How much do you think this start, like, because last year, like, it's kind of last minute thing. They're going to Utah. They got to move their families. Like, it's small things like finding a place to live, finding schools for your kids. Like, it's a whirlwind of a year. Like, it took them till, I think, Thanksgiving to get 4 home wins, and they've already done it now. So, like, how much do you think of just being settled for 1 year has helped them?
I think it helps them tremendously. I mean, they know everything, like you said, about the city, about where they live. They get great treatment from the ownership and the hockey operations staff. They have that brand new practice facility that's state of the art, and the fans just love them there. And I think it's a very comfortable situation this year for the Mammoth in year number 2. And they have so much potential. I think they're starting to believe that they have that and can continue to have a strong success. Now, again, we're only at the end of October. We don't know about injuries. We don't know about, slumps, and everyone goes through some things, as you guys know, as the season goes on. But you really have to like the way that they play. Everyone wants to play fast. Well, Utah plays about as fast as anyone in the league. Their D are able to really move the puck up out of the zone to the forwards. They're so fast, and they break out. They play really good team defense. In fact, I think they're number 1 in the NHL in defending off the rush. So that tells you that, the forwards get back and help defensively. There's a lot of turnovers being created, at their blue line in the neutral zone. And they play really well team defensively. In fact, they're number 4 overall right now in the league defensively, or 2, I should say, and 4 offensively. So, I mean, they're really high in both categories, only allowing an average of 2.4 goals against per game. And as Whit said early on, it starts with Karel Vejmelka. He was a guy that had a great season last year, got himself a 5-year deal, didn't have a great preseason. I looked at his numbers and wondering, is he going to be able to really continue what he did last year? Well, silly me, preseason means nothing. Veg has been really, really good, and his backup Vanacek has come in and won 2 out of 3 starts. In fact, Vejmelka leads the league in wins with 6. And so right now, everything is going well for Utah. The only thing, maybe that the PK is a little bit, they're like in the 72 range. They'd like to get that better, and maybe some more consistent defensive zone defending. But, what can you quibble with when you're 8-2 and have won 7 straight and you're flying high?
Another team out west that has really surprised, and they are nowhere near the top of my list and fun teams to watch, but I got to give them credit, is the Seattle Kraken. I mean, they beat the Oilers. They dusted the Oilers. Eberle, one snipe. Bouchard, another Bouchard special night for the Oilers. He was really good against Vancouver Sunday night, but if
I have any bit of advice, don't run him out of town. Just don't.
Hey, buddy, I'm not.
Hey.
I'm actually. We'll talk about Oilers
it's every text I see.
Not on the outline. I'll talk about it. I'm not worried at all. Not worried at all. But Seattle,
learn from my mistakes, please.
Oh, I have. Trust me. Heater, Seattle. They got Schwartz and Eberle are 8 points in 9 games, but they don't have a guy over a point per game. They're just kind of doing it the way they did it a few years ago by committee. I don't think it's going to continue, but anything there that makes you think that this might be not just a mirage earlier in the year?
Well, they got off to a really good start. After 2 non-playoff seasons, they fired their coach, Dan Bilesma, after 1 year, and brought in Lane Lambert, who was an assistant with business team in Toronto last year, and of course, former head coach of the New York Islanders. And they started out 3-0-2. So, there's points in their first 5 games. They're 3-0 at home. And like you said, they are scoring by committee. I believe they have 6 players with at least 5 points in 9 games. And right now, their top goal scorer is injured in Jared McCann. He's missed the last 4 games. But like Utah, they're getting outstanding goaltending from Joey Decord, former ASU star. I got to give Arizona a little bit.
He got his jersey retired this year.
Yes,
Heater.
he did.
Academy too.
Yes, he did.
Oh.
Went to the same high school I went to.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. There you go. That's a good
Yeah,
number.
yeah.
Didn't know that one. But
Penguins.
he's become one of the and he's off to a great start. And I think that's one of the reasons that Seattle is doing so well. You know, they're playing good defensively, and Decord has been outstanding, and they're getting some balanced scoring.
Well, Heethuis,
Okay.
we kind of lost your video there, and there's a little echo, but we appreciate you coming on, buddy. Well,
Okay,
yeah,
so we lost Heater, which sucks because I actually had a surprise for all 3 of you. And our next guest, since we were covering Utah so much, owner of the Utah Mammoth.
Oh,
Ryan
What's up,
Smith.
fellas?
Look at
I
this
just wanted
guy.
to make sure the shoes were behind you. That's the most boss layout we've ever had on this show.
Hey, it's actually cheap art. Like, I didn't
Hey,
have to work
Yance.
as
That's
hard
what my
as-
wife tells me too when she buys a new pair.
Yans
Yeah,
is one of the
what
biggest.
jersey?
Yans
What's
is
that?
one of the biggest Jordan fans in the world. He's always got the Jordan kicks on. So I bet you he's got close to a rivaling shoe collection.
Different tax brackets, Biz. I got a couple pairs.
What's up?
But
fellas?
luckily, me and Ryan are members at Jordan's course, so we're able to get our hands
Not a
on
big
some
deal.
good ones.
Well, we wanted to get you on to talk about this unveiling of Tusky, the mascot, and the fact that he's 7-0 and
7-0.
things are ripping. Pictures of you on the glass going crazy for JJ Peterka's first goal as a Mammoth. Things are looking great for you guys right now.
Oh, like it's a vibe for sure. And the wagon, like it is open for anybody and everybody. So that's first and foremost. Like, you're launching a new brand, you're launching a new team, and you know the boys have come out and responded. They're feeling it, and the best part about it is get used to it because we're young. It's going to be this way for a long time, and I think that's what's exciting is you're always hoping to build up. And credit to Bill Armstrong and the guys. I mean, they've been through it, and It's pretty cool for me to kind of get the makings of what we've had and try to put in a couple pieces. And you know, I'm sure it's not all going to be like this, but I've learned in sports that, you know, celebrate the wins, man.
Yeah, they're hard to come by, and it's been a great start for you guys. I'm curious. I think this offseason was step 1 of 3 in making the building a little bit better for NHL viewing. Have the early returns on that been positive from the fan base?
Yeah, if you think about it, like we were a very tight arena for hoops. And the challenges you can see, like I was watching a little bit of the Wizards game yesterday, and you could see that it was clearly a hockey rink with a couple like seats and sections that were flat on the floor and then a basketball hoop. And that's what we didn't want to do. No offense to Washington, but you don't want this for hoops and this for hockey. And so we had a challenge to basically say, hey, how do you make both a pretty elevated experience? And I think that's what we've done with these riser systems. And it's gnarly. Like if you fall down, if you were to fall down the steps coming down behind the goal, you're going to be playing defense. Like you're going to be on the ice because it's like a double black diamond.
That's like Montreal, though. Have you been to a game at the Bell Center? Oh,
No.
it's the best part of the building that it's like this.
Yeah.
You should promote them like that. The double black diamond seats.
A double black
that's-
diamond. And that's literally like people
Get
came
a
to us
ski
and they were
pass.
like, hey, you know, that'd be sweet if we promoted that, the double black section, sponsored by Snowbird or Deer Valley.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way to go. You're already thinking ahead. I love that. Okay, so you might need some of that sponsorship money from those places to pay Logan Cooley. As a young owner, and you're new to hockey, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, like we have a complete stallion, but we also have to lock him in. Does it make you nervous, uneasy? Are you like, just get this over with? Like, how do you feel? I'm sure you're going to say, just hand it over to Bill, but you have to have
NBA
something.
guys.
I know this is nothing.
He's
like,
dealt with
wait, that's all
NBA
he
guys.
wants?
He don't give a shit.
No, like, look, I've talked with Logan a bunch. And like what matters to me most is that he wants to be here. and he's locked in and he loves his teammates. And if you didn't see that last night with that no look pass to Dylan Gunther and those two hugging, like think about how long those two are going to rally together. And that's a pretty cool option to have. So these are moments you hope that you're in. I mean, if these are problems, these are great problems to have. But there's no problem. I talked to Logan and we're all aligned. And so it's going to be a good thing. Now, look, I mean, we got a couple 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds that could be doing this for a while, and we've got to be smart and we've got to plan because you got to stack good decisions.
Should I get it? I was going to move it a little lighter, Jans. Another addition to your team, probably the best one in the offseason, Tusky. Whose idea was that? How did that come about? I love him, obviously.
It was an evolution. I mean, you've got to be a little careful with that mascot. You've really got to check out. I mean, here's what's crazy. Opening night, it was coming out. I hadn't seen the finished version. I go to Chris Armstrong. I was like, bro, have you seen the finished version? He's like, no. I was like, so no one in here has seen the finished version. And I was like, he's like, why do you care so much? I was like, well,
I own the team.
It's everything.
You do have to be a little careful with that creature. We don't want to be the meme going around. And so literally we're sitting in our suite, our governor's there. And I was like, we've got to go check out Tusky before we roll him out because, we're tussed up, not other things. So we've got to make it go right. And legitimately we saw him and we're like, all right, good. Right trunk length. We're there. Everything's good. And it came out way, way better. And, if you take somewhere in sports, we lose. This is for the kids. And I have the video of my kids seeing Tusky for the first time. I don't care what an adult thinks. The kids freaking love him or her or whatever it is, right? They love that mascot. And that's all that matters. And then the unveiling was so dope. That was just it couldn't have gone better.
We're like a miniature version of you. We just helped purchase the Greensboro Gargoyles, and we released ours Doyle, and they must have sold $1,000 night one. People absolutely loved it. The kids were going crazy. So it's a great feeling when you nail it on the mascot. It's everything.
Yeah, and this team, they've nailed the branding, they've nailed the name, they've nailed the mascot. It's so freaking hard to do right now because it's almost like every name, because of Shopify, has been taken. Every trademark. It's to thread the needle on all of this and even do it with a fan vote, which I'll never do again. That was insane. Bettman kept calling for the name. Wait, where's your name? Where's your name? Where's your name? I'm like, Gary, just wait. It's February. I'm at least 50% sure we have one. Right? We'll get you one in March. We got to order jerseys. So
this is awesome.
It's
great.
Would you be willing to maybe go on record and tell us if you could be there in the building, which you are, for a Utah Jazz game-winning shot at the buzzer or a Mammoth player burying a breakaway in overtime? Which one maybe fills you with a little bit more excitement, a little bit more passion, or is it owner answer here and you can't give us one?
No, I mean, the typical owner answer would be, hey, you've got two children and you can't choose with them, but it's way more nuanced than that, right? So hoops is my first love. I got into sports because of hoops. There's nothing like sitting on the floor courtside. You guys know it. Our players know it. It's physical. It's great. Hockey's just different. It's not like you could compare them. I think the coolest thing that I have been a part of in the last couple weeks was we announced we have our new hockey practice facility, and we just announced that on the second floor and kind of over a couple hundred yards is going to be our basketball facility. So I come in the morning, and we're doing a groundbreaking last Tuesday, a week ago tomorrow, right? So I come in at 8 o'clock in the morning. We got a game that night for hockey and practice at 10 o'clock for hoops. So we got a short time window. And I walk in, I'm a little late, and I walk into this big long table where all of the boys are eating, and they normally eat, and hockey eats together, and all of our hoop guys are sitting down with them. And I'm like, oh my hell, this is the collab I didn't know we needed. Like just watching them, watching George Niang, who grew up in Boston, talking to Tom Marino, who was in Boston. And I kind of circled back with both groups, and then we did a groundbreaking, and every hockey guy was there for the hoops groundbreaking. And so for us, the synergies between the two is like, hopefully they're motivating each other. And if you don't think hoops is noticing the run hockey's on, I mean, my group text threads, like it's all together in the vibes. Or Sergey texting me, last week going, hey, Simashev and I, and they're living together, like want to go support the boys. And he comes in like a Jazz jacket, and they're sitting courtside just to support the guys because those guys are supporting him. When we had opening night of hockey, like on the glass, every one of our hoops guys were there. That's when Peterka hit that shot. I'm next to Isaiah Collier. He's dressed up in like a beanie and gloves for the hockey match. And I was like, bro, have you ever been? He's like, no, he was so into it. But then in the suite, you've got Nurkic and Kevin Love and all these guys that are there going, this is a vibe. And so it's different. It's a little more rowdy for hockey, but I feel like the answer is yes to both, because like you experience one and it's like one, you're like going like this. The other one, you're like high-fiving and chest bumping the whole section that's around you. And I think it's for us, like not having that hockey experience in Utah, it's probably the coolest thing on the planet to like be able to be a part of bringing it there and then kind of sitting back and watching the fans just take it. It's like we hit a vein, like of something they didn't know they needed. So that's a long answer, but
no, it's awesome. That's awesome.
And then you're going to be reaping the benefits too, because the youth hockey is going to be blowing up. You're going to be seeing kids from Utah in the NHL in the next 15, 20 years. So props to you guys for doing that. But I wanted to ask you and your wife, Ashley, everyone that I talk to, it just seems all they say, it's like a family here. And I played on a few teams. I'd say Vinny and Teresa, Viola, they treated us like family. They brought us places. They were really good to us, but not a lot of ownerships are like that. Is that something that you guys talked about? Like, hey, we want to treat these guys, whether they're on the Jazz or the Mammoth, like they're our own.
Yeah, Biz, I think we've talked about this a little bit before. It's like when you come into the spot, everyone says like, what are you going to be like? I'm like, what do you mean? Well, like, especially in hoops, are you going to be like Mark Cuban or Steve Ballmer or this? And it's like, look, I'm mid-40s. I've got 5 kids. I'm into my wife. Like, you know what? Like, we're just going to be our family, and like, we're going to keep doing what we've done.
Sneaker shopping.
Yeah. And so I think there's no real playbook to this. I think the playbook is just be authentic and be you. And this is what I learned a long time ago. I'll never forget when we took a bunch of venture capital at Qualtrics. Like, I was made the CEO. I was a founder, but we kind of weren't divided up as to like CEO. I was a CEO, and I went into the first 4 board meetings, and I'm with Sequoia Capital, who gave Steve Jobs his first money. I'm with Excel Partners, who just funded Facebook. And we'd go into these board presentations, and all the analysts would like put everything together, and they'd be like, here's the presentation. So I go up there and I do it all. And I kept leaving going like, this isn't me. Yeah, I'm sure that's what they want, but it's not me. And then like, I got so sick of it. One day we're preparing for the board meeting. I was like, guys, get out of here. I start preparing my own presentation. It's got like a picture of Tiger Woods in golf on the first one and everything. And then I remember going to present it, and it was like a high stakes board meeting, and everyone from the board's like, how do we get more of that, Ryan? How do we get more of you? And so it was a lesson around just be yourself, and be yourself with the guys, and involve them with what you're doing. And it works. I think the hard part is when you're trying to be something that you're not. And I guess I learned that lesson in business early on is for all my strengths and weaknesses, you're going to get Ryan and Ashley, and then there's only one story. We don't have to think about something else we've said. It's just one story about who we get.
We actually, before we had you on, we had Bob Heethuis, who was with the Arizona Coyotes, but just from a former Coyote, it's great to see that like an awesome owner ended up taking control of it and is treating the guys the way that they should be, and everything's kind of running the way that it's been ran so far. So continued success. I was going to bring it back to one final discussion. We had it at Houston's, and I'll bring it up to Jans and Witt. You talked about being new to the sport and maybe how sometimes, you know, the puck's not the easiest to follow for maybe basketball fans who want to transition into hockey when they're consuming it, whether it's on their phone, on their television, where you were like, I wonder if there's like a new development where it could be viewed from a different experience. Or you could still, hockey fans and hockey people are traditionalists, right? They like to view it the angle that it is now, and they have tried different things. Jans and Witt, did you have any like thoughts as to like maybe how differently they could film it or make it easier for like non-hockey fans to all of a sudden start watching on their phones and be like, oh, wow, this is a lot easier to follow and understand more so than it was before? Do you remember that conversation we had, Ryan?
Yeah, because like one of the things, if you look at the TV contracts right now, I mean, we signed an $8 billion deal annually for hoops, and the next one's football. Well, what do they have in common? Like our basketball, look how big that is, right? Look at a football. Those are two of the easiest sports you can watch on your mobile device. So we're in a deal with Amazon. They've got 300 million subscribers, whatever it is. They're going mobile. And sometimes we're still thinking that everyone's going to be in this situation. I mean, throughout a hockey game, I'm on like 3 different devices between the game and my car doing carpool. Like very rarely am I sitting in the same spot. And so I think that without like offending or targeting or not targeting the power user, which is everyone in Canada who's grown up watching and all of this or everywhere else, there's a whole nother part of the world that's growing the game. And we've seen it in golf where just taking it further, and I don't have the answers, but I think it would be an incredibly worthy cause.
You would think with like AI and all this, there would be maybe something. I'm like you though, like I have no clue. I'm not very original in terms of stuff like that or anything in my life, but I do always get shocked because just growing up, you're just so used to watching and following the puck, and people really are like, I got no clue. Like, I really don't. What is going on right now? Why are they skating over there? So I get it. It's just, I wonder how they approach it, because the Fox track thing from 2000 or whatever didn't work.
You don't want it back, Witt?
No, I don't. Although maybe with AI, it would be like sick now. I don't know.
But you would still offer the traditional viewing experience. It would just basically be like an alternate viewing experience where you could probably link the voice too, right? So you could still get the commentator doing it for both viewing experiences. But I just thought it was interesting you saying that, because I think, like you said, Witt, we grew up playing hockey. So we just kind of know with the momentum of their body exactly where he's going to snap it to, and it comes second nature. Where if we're thinking of broadening the game and opening it up, making it, I guess, a little bit easier to consume, especially where a lot of people are consuming it, is probably something we should look toward. And I remember you brought that up, and I'm like, well, I just don't know how they would angle the camera or film it. Yeah. Nans, what about you?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, anytime someone I talk, especially living down here in Florida, a lot of people haven't been to hockey. My biggest thing was you have to go to a game, because live, I think it's the best sport. So doing something on TV, yeah, that would take a lot of brains. Smarter people than me to figure out. But yeah, I think personally watching it live is the best. Like TV kind of doesn't do it as good as justice. But yeah, I wouldn't be in that position to figure that out, Paul.
Which the fact that we're saying that means that there's an opportunity, right? Because we know that live is. I want that mobile experience to be as good as it can, almost live.
Yeah. Ryan, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I don't know if you had anything else. But we appreciate you coming on, man. Congrats on the amazing start. It's awesome. I cannot wait to get out there for a game. The vibe, as the NBA guy said, it looks electric. So thank you very much for joining the show.
All right, fellas. Hey,
Tusky.
have fun.
You're
All
a
right.
legend. Thanks for doing
What's
that.
up?
One thing I got a couple ads.
That was
One thing I
amazing.
wanted to mention, because before we lost Heethuis, we brought up Seattle and their awesome
Oh,
start.
for sure.
I just want to shout out Brandon Montour. He lost his brother. He gave a really emotional kind of little press conference there to ALS, and just you go back to Pete Frates and what he did in the Ice Bucket Challenge, and feel yeah, we could actually play the video of Montour.
Yeah, I'll just start. Obviously a rough week. It's already he's gonna love me talking about it. Sorry. Yeah, so my older brother's been dealing with ALS for 3-4 years now, and it was a rough week, and very proud, very happy to be his brother, somebody that I've looked up to since obviously day one, and a great son, brother, best friend, father. I know he's got 2 baby girls. But he battled hard. You got to put everything in perspective with all the highs that I've had in the last couple of years with winning and hockey and having babies and creating my own family. He was at home battling, and right till the Monday when it happened, he was smiling and he was ready. So again, proud of him. The family's having a tough go. Obviously, you lose one so close, but to have everyone together and for the week was good. And being back here in Seattle and seeing my kids and being a part of this again, keep my mind off other things, which would be good. But miss him. And again, he's probably smiling and chirping me up there, for crying, but love him, and that was a tough week.
So that's just brutal. Just a horrible disease, and we're thinking of Brandon Montour, and can't imagine what he said, like all the success I'm having and my family, and like knowing he's battling. So that's brutal. That's absolutely brutal, and we're thinking of him and anyone who's ever lost someone to ALS. Just a horrible disease. So kind of hard to go to an ad after that, but we got to talk about game time, and there's nothing like the start of hockey season. That first blast of cold air as you walk into the arena, the roar of the crowd after a big hit or a breakaway goal. It's electric. But getting there is quite another story. The cues, the price jumps, getting logged out mid-click. All you want is to be there, beer in hand, losing your voice with the crowd, and the Game Time app gives you the advantage back to the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use, and the Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, fees are always included, so what you see is what you pay. I was looking at tickets. Islanders are at the Bruins tomorrow, Tuesday night. Game Time deal right now, $42 to get in. That's how bad the Bruins are. But you can watch Matthew Schaefer live. $42 on Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets or NHL tickets, with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Chiclets for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHICLETS for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. And if you need a haircut, Sport Clips is where you need to go. Sport Clips, classic rookie mistake, not going to Sport Clips haircuts. Guys come in looking like they've just been sacked by a 250-pound linebacker, but walk out looking like a first-round pick, like myself. Not a big deal. Sport Clip stylists have the playbook for a clean cut. They've mastered the X's and O's of men's hair. And with the MVP haircut experience, you get a hot steam towel, a massaging shampoo, and the precision cut. It's the whole 9 yards. When you step into Sport Clips, you're walking into a zone for guys. The games are on. The stylists just get it. This is the place designed for guys to win and walk out with a haircut ready for a highlight reel. So G has a big wedding coming up next fall, and I know he'll be going to Sport Clips for the big day. Sport Clips, it's a game changer. Guys, another friend we're going to bring on here to talk about a wagon of a team is the Colorado Avalanche, and that is our guy, the smoothest man in the game. He definitely goes to Sport Clips. John Michael Liles. Buddy,
Look at that Nordiques jersey.
Oh, what a
how
collab that
sick was that jersey the other night, dude?
So I don't know if you saw our broadcast. They gave each of us our own jersey.
Yeah,
So they made up a Liles one, and they are so sweet. And against the Whalers jersey, like that whole game, I was doing color up top. Like it exhausted me because it was just so cool and so exciting to see these two teams wearing those jerseys, just throwbacks, but they look amazing in person too.
What do you make of the people saying stolen valor? Like, shut the fuck
Jason
up.
Demers was not happy.
I mean,
Oh, really? He wasn't a fan of it?
Pissed. He's from Quebec.
Oh, that makes it like.
I mean,
Can we get a picture? Can we get a picture of John Michael Liles at the desk wearing a jersey? Because that made me laugh.
Listen, I don't know. I mean, listen, it's been 30 years, right? And yeah, like you're paying tribute to the past, to the roots. And I mean, I thought it was cool as hell. I get it. Like, you're from Quebec. I'm sure there's still some bad blood or whatnot that the Nordiques ended up moving.
That was our Stanley Cup, tabarnak. They took our Cup Stanley, man.
Yeah, and winning it in the first year that they go to Denver, right? I mean, I guess that's probably a little bit. But like, you talk to all those guys, like we had Sakic on the broadcast, we had Goulet on the broadcast. Like they loved their time in Quebec City. Like, nobody ever badmouths Quebec City. It's just, I mean, listen, it's a business, right? And so it ends up coming to Denver. You win the cup in the first year, but to me, it's like a little tip of the cap, right? Like, hey, it's like, yeah, fucking awesome.
Do you get a little more nervous having Sakic on the broadcast? Like, you pucker up a little bit more?
No, Joe was my roommate my rookie year. He's still one of my good buddies, and so I can shoot the shit with him pretty easily, and it's all because we'll get off the air and he'll just give it right back, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, like, he's a legend, but I don't know. I mean, you're my roommate on the road, right?
Yeah. Why did he have a roommate? He must have
had two back in the
03,
day.
man. 03. Like, that was everybody had a roommate. Like, Blake and Foot roomed together.
Wow.
Blakey and Footy roomed together. It was the friggin' biggest disaster of a room of
tell
all time.
Sakic, he'd be like, shut the TV off. Time for bed.
Joe
What time was he in bed by?
No, he was he was awesome. He gave it to me pretty good. I had to do the curtains, and I had to, make sure that I had to get all the room service, and he was, he was watching American Idol and enjoying his time with a rookie as his roommate. He had Paul Kariya first, and he didn't like Kariya because Kariya would meditate, and Kariya would try and tell him, like, hey, we got to turn the TV off at 8:30. And Joe was like, nope, I'm done. Not doing this.
That is unreal.
So, Johnny, like, as a former silky power play quarterback yourself, things are going great for the Avs, except for the power play. And it's kind of scary, I think, for the rest of the league. I was a guy who said I wasn't scared of the Avs. I might be looking to walk that one back a little bit, but they're winning and playing this well without their power play doing anything. Like, what do you see as the problem right now?
On the power play, listen, it's you've got a ton of skill out there, and sometimes it just ends up being simplification, right? They're clicking at like 11%. They scored a power play goal every game, I think, the first 3 or 4 games of the season. Then they went kind of cold. And I mean, listen, you've got Nathan McKinnon, you've got Cale Makar. What I see like a lot of teams doing right now is they're just going right out at Makar. Like, he's got virtually no time, and they're saying, we're like, if you want to try and beat us down low, then you can beat us down low. But Makar's not dictating. Like, they're just saying, we're not going to allow Makar to dictate. We're going to pressure the hell out of him, pressure the hell out of McKinnon. And if you want to try and 3-on-2 us, another way, then that's fine. They scored against Hartford. They got 8 power plays against Hartford, Carolina. We were on the broadcast. We were calling them Quebec and Hartford, so I'm still going with the Hartford thing. But but they scored against Carolina. They had 8 power plays. They scored in the third period to tie the game on their 8th one, I believe. And it was one of those ones where Makar, they're pressuring him out high. They have 3 guys pressuring out high on McKinnon, Natchez, and Makar. And Makar fires a seam pass to Olofsson, and it's a 2-on-1 in front. Now it's a bounce off of their defender that Anderson fights off, and Nichushkin cleans up the rebound. But that's kind of what teams have been doing the last little while, is saying, hey, we're gonna just take our chances with maybe, these guys down low and not allow Makar and McKinnon to really dictate and fire the puck and get those heavy shots from point or the flank.
Had you noticed other teams that were like noticing that and good at it, where do you feel maybe the book is out and every team is taking that approach? And probably not a bad thing for them to figure out early either, because if somebody sends it their way during playoffs, at least they're like, all right, the 3 guys down low, you guys got to figure this fucker out.
Yeah. And I mean, last year in Dallas, 7-game series, Dallas did a really good job. They got, they had a few power play goals, but I go back to like games, I want to say game 2, they had a power play at the end of the game with the game tied, chance to win, lose in overtime. Game 3, they had a 4-minute power play at the end of regulation and overtime and didn't score, and they lose at home, to go down 2-1. Now they forced game 7, but in the end, like those can add up, and Dallas did a really good job on the penalty kill. And we all know power plays go through hot streaks and cold spells. And right now they're in a bit of a cold spell, but if you're going to go through it, I'd rather go through it right now. Cause listen, they're 5-1-4 and an 11% power play. Like if you scored 3 or 4 more power play goals, you're looking at, probably 8-2 or 8-1-1 at this point. So they're working on it. And, they brought in Dave Hackstall as an assistant coach this year to really kind of focus on the power play. They're definitely giving some different looks, a little bit more movement. Just hasn't really quite clicked yet. And they've kind of experimented with some personnel. Victor Olofsson has been up and, kind of up on that top unit. They moved Val Nichushkin in, who's a big body in front. So he's definitely helped a bit with the puck retrievals. But once again, like I kind of go back to simplification. When you have Nathan McKinnon and Marty Natchez on the flanks and there's a shot, like if those guys can crash the net and you've got those 2 plus Val Nichushkin and call it, Arturi Lehkonen or whoever else is the 4th guy, like you're going to win a lot of battles.
What a start for Lehkonen too. Merle's his favorite player. He's awesome. So good around the net, and
he's awesome.
It makes
what
sense.
What a sneaky trade that was.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But it makes sense with because when Makar walks the line 100 miles an hour, that's when everything completely falls apart for PK. So I get it. Like teams like, forget this. Like I'm not letting him get to the middle, take that route of the ice away. And then, but they will figure it out. But in terms of like other storylines, I think the Netch's contract situation will get louder and louder.
There's some PTSD there from the Rantanen trade, I would say.
Exactly.
What's he asking for?
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, he started out hot. He had 8-game point streak to start the year, and he looks good. Like him and McKinnon are reading off each other really well. They're both so fast, and like one of the things we talked about on the broadcast, like we got Nate post game a couple games ago, and Nate just pulling up, and Nate almost coming in like a D-man. But Nate just draws 2 guys to him, and all of a sudden Nate has so much space coming in the zone late. And Nate always, like you mentioned, Lehkonen, Nate always gives props to Lehkonen, because Lehkonen, I mean, and he's 5'11", like 183 pounds, and he wins every battle.
And
he just, and he's in front of the net every time. And like if there's a one-timer, like it's either going into the net or he eats it off his ankle, and like this guy just gets up, like half smile on his face, goes back to the bench, right back in front of the net every time. And Nate and Natchez are doing their thing, and he's just such a smart player. And yeah, you mentioned like just a sneaky trade that 22 year, and he has been so good, especially on that top line with Natchez and McKinnon.
So like now that like sitting back and evaluating the trade, what are maybe some things that like he doesn't provide what you're missing from Rantanen? And what did you make of the fact that never even got done with Rantanen? I don't know if we've had you on since. I feel like that was a lack of communication between everybody involved. And as Kadri posted, like you don't let the dogs go. You don't.
Yeah, I listen. I mean, it was pretty much worst case scenario with Mikko getting a hat trick in Game 7. But I mean, once again, like his first goal was unreal, right? Like in that game 7 in the third period, like, you know, he comes in, he rips one top shelf. The second goal, like it's on the power play. He loses a wheel going around the net and it like banks in off a D-man. And the third goal is an empty net. So it's not like you torched them for like everything they're worth, right? Like I mean, like I played golf with Mikko this summer and like, he's just ho-hum. Like, you know, I like Dallas. It's great. It's a nice change, but you know, whatever. And I like the way that I've heard it from multiple places is like, he was asking for this. The Avs only wanted to go to here. The Avs didn't think that he was going to budge or, you know, whatever. There was some miscommunication, who knows? And so Avs made the trade. He was still asking for this in Carolina. Carolina didn't want to go there. So Carolina dealt him. And then he's like, okay, well, I guess I'll take this in Dallas is kind of the understanding that I have.
Wow.
Now, once again, it's all word of mouth and like not,
is that
you know,
breaking?
Golf with them.
No, I mean, no.
I thought that Carolina was willing to give him whatever he wanted, like essentially.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess they probably were, but I don't know if the fit was right. But anyways, that's the Colorado part is kind of the way that I understand. We didn't talk contract when I played golf with him. It was me, him, and
it was
Nate,
press,
EJ. Yeah. It was yeah, playing golf with Nate's intense. It's
he launched a brand for us.
Yeah, I know. It's, but yeah, I mean, listen, it's that caught, like I said, there's some PTSD with the ranting and stuff, and I think everybody's focused on it. I still love the fit. I think he's an unreal player, but yeah, he's different than Mikko. He's always going to be different than Mikko. It's a completely different player, right? You know, Mikko's 6'4", like Natchez is, you know, 6'2". Natchez is speed and skill, and Mikko, he's skill, but like heavy shot. Just completely different players. And so, yeah, I mean, there's definitely been some adjustment there, I would say, for when you look at like what Nate has had to adjust to with Natchez compared to Mikko, and Natchez adjusting to Nate as well, because they both want the puck. But now I think they both understand that if one has it or the other has it, like the reads that they make off of each other are starting to be really good. And they can control the play for, you know, minute plus in the offensive zone. And I mean, even against Boston the other day, they lost the game, but they dominated that first period. Swayman made some big saves, and like they had times where they were just hemming Boston in. And yeah, I mean, like that's
what started that Nate McAvoy fight there. That was fucking. I love when the big dogs go at it.
Yeah, you know, I listen. There was a scrum. I think there was probably some frustration. You know, Nate and like. It's a battle, right? Like, and McAvoy's the same. Like, I played with both those guys. I played with Chucky, you know, right when he came in the league when I finished in Boston. And, you know, I mean, I didn't play with Nate, but I know Nate well enough. Like, they both have a fire, and Nate kind of was, I think, probably a little frustrated there. And, you know, he gave it to McAvoy. McAvoy gave it back. And I mean, we all know, like, Nate's not afraid to drop the gloves, right? Like, that. Nate, like, he is so strong. And I mean, if you go and look at his fights, I would say like 90% of the time he ends up body slamming the guy in one form or another.
He's got
right?
he's got a quick wick too, right? He's got a quick wick.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, you don't like seeing McKinnon fight, but I always say on the broadcast, like, angry Nate is the best Nate, because that's when he is like determined that they are going to win, and he is going to jam it down your throat.
Yeah.
This is I don't want to say a generic one, but I believe since they won the cup, Colorado has not been back to the Western Conference Finals. I think with that type of roster, that would it safe to say there's a little bit of pressure coming in this year on Bednar?
Yeah.
Pretty good start so far. Like what was different about maybe his approach or his message to the guys coming into this one? Or was it the same laid back, awesome players coach that we know?
Well, I would say like he's not like I don't think he's changing his coaching philosophy, right? Like you've been in a place for 10 years, right? And you've got some guys that like Nate he's super intense. And so I think he's got a great relationship with Nate. If you don't have a great relationship with Nate, you're probably not lasting very long. Let's just be honest, right? Like he's the alpha in the room. And like what I'll say is, first of all, Gabriel Landeskog coming back is a huge ad. Right? Like coming back in the playoffs, you're running on full adrenaline. Now you're back in the daily grind, but having him in the room on a daily basis just makes it, everybody else can take a breath. Kale can take a breath. Nate can take a breath. Like they're not the guys that everybody's looking at for the the verbal kind of, hey, this is what we're doing today. But Bedsy, like camp, to me, it was high paced. Like he was pushing guys. They were working on, I think they were trying to figure out like power play units and what might work. They were looking at possibly 2 units, so that you kind of have a different look. The hard part is with Nate and Kale and those guys and the shape that they're in, like they can push a minute and a half, a minute 40. So if you're on the second unit, you're looking at 15, 20 seconds, which isn't always easy, especially when you're a power play guy. You want the puck on your stick. And if you're not getting it regularly, you're not getting more than 20 seconds. Like it can be tough to really get in that offensive rhythm. And I look at guys like Brock Nelson scored his second goal of the year last night in Jersey, or yesterday in Jersey. And, he's kind of been on and off that first power play unit. When you're not getting those regular power play reps, it can be tough. But I mean, Bedsy, like I've golfed with him a bunch over the years. And like, he's really, really, he's very well thought out, very well spoken. And so like, when you talk to him after the season's over and whatever, you're, golfing, and it's like, okay, like, what do you do after the season? Like if you don't have success? And he's like, I always make a list of the things that like I felt weren't good enough, what we need to work on, how I want to approach that. And he's like, I always revisit that through the summer. And then like, making notes is, okay, how do we address this come training camp time? How do we improve on it? All these different things. And it's cool to kind of pick his brain in that regard and just, hear how he looks at, they had that success in 2022 and they haven't been back there since. And I mean, listen, there's a lot of factors, right? Like the cap was a factor. You lose Kadri, you lose Kemper. Like your depth maybe wasn't quite as good as it was for that cup team. But now looking at this team right now and the depth that they have, you signed Brent Burns. Like that's such a huge signing to me. Like he's just an animal, right? Like 1,500 games. He's so good at what he's just good at what he does and how he approaches the day to day. It's pretty cool. And what he's brought to the back end. And then like the little things like that Victor Olofsson signing. Jack Drury's been really, really good as the third center. And I think some people were questioning, whether or not he was a 3 center, because I think he's been a 4 for so long. I think he's been awesome as a 3.
I'm looking at their D, and you mentioned Brent Burns. I'm glad you brought him up. This other guy, this Sam Malinsky.
Yeah.
He was 21 years old as a freshman at Cornell.
Mm-hmm.
Played 3 years there, undrafted, and then his rookie year, he spent like part of the year in the AHL, but part of the year in the NHL, and then this year 5 points in 10 games. Puck mover, skates well, like must have been a late bloomer based on not being drafted, right, and being old as a freshman.
Yeah.
What have you seen from his game?
Listen, he's solid. He's a really good puck moving defenseman. Like it's kind of funny. He looks a little bit like Kale at times.
Yeah, he does.
Just being that righty and the way that he sets up, the way that he skates. Now, nobody does what Kale does, right? But like Sam watching Kale and seeing some of the things that Kale does, like it's cool because then you ask him a question like, hey, what do you take from Kale? Skating with him in practice every day. And I mean, we all played with great players. Like I played with Rob Blake. I tried to watch every single thing he did in practice and just like learn from it. And he's said like Kale's just so good at the way that he maneuvers his body, the way that he always got his feet moving. He's looking for angles just to create a better shot. And 30 goals last year for Kale. Like yeah, you're learning from that all day. And I think Sam's been really steady, dependable, and just an awesome addition. And like you said, late bloomer. So it's you got to give credit to the scouting staff. Brian Willsey's a good buddy of mine. He's an awesome guy for their scouting staff. And yeah, I mean, signing him as a free agent was a big addition.
Is Makar one of those guys is he out there helping out these young? I mean, he's still young in the league too, right? But is he one of those guys that's helping guys and bringing them along and showing them the way?
Yeah, I think he is. Like, listen, Kale's not like overly verbal just from watching him. Like I'm not on the ice with him every day. He's not like, I don't think he's sitting there like hammering on guys, but like he talks. And like, I think he's just like this, right? Like he's steady. He's, what you're getting every day. And that's style. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like it's just, and that's, we always joke like Devon Taves is kind of that way too. Like he's like, I always call him a poor man's Lidstrom. Cause he's just so steady and exactly what you're getting from him every night. It's 24 minutes from Taves and it's going to be no turnovers and it's going to be, an assist, probably +2, 0 mistakes, the smartest guy on the ice at all times. And like Kale's kind of like that too, but just with a little bit more flair, I would say. And like, listen, we all make mistakes. It's going to happen. But like having those guys as your top pair is a crazy luxury that, Avs fans should really enjoy right now.
And then with Calgary being, kind of shitty this year, you've heard some rumblings, maybe Kadri coming back there. Have you heard?
Wow, you're the rumor guy. I was going to bring that up. All right, Jans. All right. I see you.
I don't know. I mean, listen, who wouldn't love to have Nazem Kadri on their team? I played with him in Toronto. Like he's an unbelievable two-way centerman. He was so good for the Avs in that cup run. Even when he came back from the thumb injury, I mean, you just think about like the Fire in the St. Louis series and just the he's just a competitor, right? Like he competes. He hates to lose. He hated to lose when we were in Toronto. He hates to lose battles. He wants to be the guy. And like, those are the guys you want on your team. Those are the guys, like he said it, like you don't trade the dogs, right? Like, I'm not saying I agree with him on the Rantanen thing, but like, those are the guys like Nas are the like guys like that are the guys that help you win cups when you have the right team and the right makeup. And for us, like number 2 center, he was the perfect fit. I think he had 91 points that year in the regular season. Like he was crazy good.
I know. I wonder if, like, with Natchez and how good he's been with Nate, like, you'd almost rather Nazem back than Rantanen in a weird way with how that team's makeup is. But Roback, last question, JML. Use code Chiclets on roback.com for generous 20% off your first purchase through the end of the week. That's CHICLETS on RHOBACK.com. 20% off all polos, hoodies, and more. Code Chiclets. So Mackenzie Blackwood, he's battling something. He has been playing, but Scott Wedgewood, man, like talk about a big time backup and
Miner's been
how
good.
He's always been a gamer. He was a gamer in Arizona, everywhere.
Yeah.
Wasn't he in Dallas too?
He was in Dallas. He was in Nashville. Yeah, I mean, listen, he has been awesome. Like, first of all, his attitude, he's the perfect backup. Like, I don't even call him a backup. I call him the 1B, right? Like Blackwood right now, Blackwood's out, so he's the starter, but like he's a 1B. You can put him in any game and he could win you the game. Even if it's a back-to-back, he could win you the game. And, the way things worked out is he's the starter at the beginning of the year because Blackwood's kind of still dealing with something. It sounds like he's getting pretty close. But I mean, the way that he played to start the year and just like, he was so solid. Like he was making saves. Like he made a couple like amazing saves every game, but he was just solid. And I go back to last year, like the goaltending that the Avs started with, like they started 5-5. They didn't get over 500 till mid-November last year. Right. I think they were 16 games over 500 from like December 1st on. Like that just kind of shows you where they were. They traded Justus Annunen to Nashville for Wedgewood. And then they traded for Blackwood after that. And that wasn't even the plan. It was more just to solidify kind of the backup because you had Georgiev, who was struggling a bit. And then you had Annunen, who was young. And they felt like they needed more of a proven backup to help Georgiev. And then all of a sudden the Blackwood thing kind of came about after the Wedgewood. We call them the lumber yard because there's friggin' woods everywhere. But
a lot of wood.
But yeah, so anyway, so he's been awesome this year. And we've had him like on the post game a couple times. Like our post game's kind of like a talk show set at Ball Arena. And so they'll bring a player up after the Avs win, which is pretty cool. And we've had him up there and like he's awesome. There's zero canned answers from that guy. Like he's the guy when you picture a backup, you're like, that's my guy, right? Like
is he
awesome
calling
in the
out
room.
teammates?
What's that?
Is he calling out teammates like some other goalies around the league?
Oh,
No,
here we go.
no,
He
no.
wants to Jans is the shut the fuck up and stop the puck guy. We got
Don't show us the
Justin.
defenseman goalies.
We got Wolf in Calgary and then Stolars so far.
Came
So
from the
he's just
school
all
of Keith Kachuk.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up and save the puck.
Yeah.
I love the Tyson Barrie retirement letter. I couldn't get a save. I was minus 70 or something. Couldn't get a save in my career. I was like, dude, that is the perfect line. I'm just going to use that for the rest of my career whenever anybody says anything about my plus minus.
Where did that minor kid come from? Because he's been good too this year.
So he's been with the organization 4 or 5 years, I want to say. I think he came out of the Dub. I want to say he played in Vancouver in the Dub. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's right. And he's just, like he's been good. He got in against Carolina the other night when, it was some tough bounces and couple turnovers. Like Wedgewood, I would have said like he would have wanted maybe one back. They were down 4-1, like 10 minutes in. And Miner came in and made 20 saves and then gets the loss in a shootout. So yeah, it's he's been solid. Like he's a great guy in the room. He's been unreal with the Eagles in the AHL as well. And yeah, just like, I mean, like right now, I mean, they started him against Jersey. And I thought he played pretty well last night. Like maybe one he would want back, the Heethuis first goal. But other than that, like, I mean, can't complain.
Yeah. Johnny, thank you so much.
I just had one final one, and it's kind of like a package question with if you could address one issue right now that you think you're going to need to address moving forward for the playoffs and to compete for a Stanley Cup, what position do you think that is? And also, you kind of answered it with like who's stepping up, like the Wedgewood, but like who's a name that people aren't familiar with on this roster where you've been really blown away by the way they've started the season?
What I'll say is Gavin Brindley has been really good for the Avs.
It flies, huh?
Yeah,
he flies. He's not big.
Winner.
He's 5'8". He's on the fourth line right now, but his minutes are ticking up, and he's super skilled. Played at Michigan, as much as it pains me to say it. Listen, like the skill on this kid is so good, and now you're starting to see him get a little bit of power play time. Like Bednar's working his minutes up. And it's cool to see because he wasn't like necessarily on the radar for the team, I would say, in training camp. And now it's like, okay, like this kid can play. He's smart. It's growing pains for any young kid. He had a tough year last year, I think, with the Blue Jackets organization. But now, like, there were some injuries. Now it seems like he's in a good place. I mean, as far as a position to address, like maybe there's, maybe a D-man, like maybe a bigger D-man. To add back there, like Josh Manson, I think is playing some of the best hockey he's played. Brent Burns, that addition's awesome. Josh Manson's been so good. Devon Taves has played unreal, and he got his first point of the year last night or yesterday in the 10th game, and he's been playing crazy good. So I mean that would be like maybe, but yeah, I mean listen, like it's a long year. We'll see what it looks like come trade deadline time.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, Johnny, you're the best, buddy.
You're the best,
Thank you for
Johnny.
coming
And
on,
keep
dude.
doing your guys' thing over there. Like EJ's in the mix now. You guys got such a fun crew in Colorado
awesome.
at the altitude. And
Are they going to wear those jerseys again? Sorry, Biz.
Yeah, they've got six more games. Yeah, so when they go back to Raleigh, I think there's against Montreal, they're going to wear them. Like there's some cool fun ones. So, it's pretty
unreal.
sweet. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
That's a game that
Yes.
should have some crazy numbers watching those two teams.
That's great.
So, Johnny, have a great one, buddy. We appreciate it. This episode brought to you by Boom Body Armor, the official sports drink of the NHL. Body Armor has great tasting flavors like strawberry banana. It's my go-to. And peach mango with no colors from artificial sources. All the junk is not in Body Armor. Bold new look with the same great taste and now available in Canada. I've been told it's been available in Canada, but that's part of the ad read. So it's in Canada no matter what. So whether you're hitting the ice, the gym, or just need something refreshing, grab Body Armor today at Walmart or a local grocery store near you. Body Armor. Choose better. Boom. Guys, I got to address the Edmonton Oilers. We'll go back to the game against Montreal. I don't know if you saw me on Twitter that night, Biz. The Montreal Canadiens, which, by the way, I love this team. I love them. They're my number one team to watch after the Oilers. And even this year, they're probably surpassed them. It's all Demidov. It's all Hudson. It's just straight excitement. But their fans can be real pussies. Let me tell you. Some real whining
So it's
on.
not just me getting it with people online, fan bases across the league.
They had the right to be pissed.
Yeah, they got hosed on a couple calls.
Okay, they got hosed on one call. That Slavkovsky penalty boarding was an all-time horrific call. Legit trash. He basically barely pushed him with his pinky finger into the boards, and they called the penalty. The Oilers score. Now, the Josh Anderson one, I want your guys' opinion. Did you see what he did? Did either one of you see it?
No.
The goal scored on the power play on the Slavkovsky penalty. He turns around, and it's actually hilarious. Veteran player turns around and skates at the ref, banging his stick. Like, great call, great call, great call.
Give it to him.
Dude, that's a penalty. They call it every time, man, when you show up refs.
Can't show them up.
You can't show up a ref like that. And so they go back on the power play. They tie it up and they win. And listen, the Canadiens fans, they're a vocal, passionate crowd. That's why we love the Canadiens. But they were being ridiculous because every single team gets hosed by the refs. Like, that is a fact. Now, was I a little embarrassed when there was Canadian Twitter fans pulling up maybe 7 to 8 tweets I've had complaining about the refs during Oilers playoff games. Yeah, probably a little embarrassed at that. But playoffs,
it wasn't game 7. It wasn't game 7.
Habs fans do PI work.
Oh, they did crazy PI work. They had tweets from me when the Oilers lost in the conference finals to Colorado talking about the refs. So I get it, but and I think part of it was when the Oilers went up 3-1 or whatever it was. I tweeted, "Welcome to a true Stanley Cup contender, Montreal. You got a nice team, but this is what the big boys look like." Next thing you know, I think it was like 2 minutes. They were up 4-3. Caulfield put on an absolute clinic, and then it was Edmonton's night. It was Edmonton's night. The refs screw everyone, guys.
But with as much as you were complaining online or going at them online, you've been.
No, I said you should be happy I didn't go to sleep, Oilers fans, because I told everyone I was going to sleep. I didn't go to sleep.
But you've also been very complimentary of how exciting Montreal is to watch, and
I love them.
You're sleeping in Demidov PJs at this point.
He's quickly becoming my favorite player in the league.
Yeah.
Did you see him in Vancouver the other night?
Demigod.
Did you see him in Vancouver, Biz? First, and all you young kids out there, we've talked about this before. You look at the best players in the league, and some of them are lightning fast. Some of them have amazing shots. Like some of them have it all. But there's one thing that every great player has, and it's the ability to give false information. It's all about false information. And there's an article today in The Athletic talking about what he does with his eyes. And I think the quote was, if he's looking at you, no, you're not getting it. And that is the sickest quality for a hockey player to have. And all those backdoor tap-ins I got from Sid, never once was he looking at me. And Demidov, the first goal he set up, he just fakes a clapper in the slot and slides it over to Suzuki, like no chance for the defense. Then a puck comes to him, and any other player, or most other players in the NHL, are whacking the rebound. He like taps it over to the side. It might have been Slavkovsky. I don't know who exactly. Another tap in, and then his goal, just a one-timer. Now it might have hit a stick, but this guy, dude, is so fun to watch. His edge work and his ability to just fake you out with his eyes it's like I'm obsessed with watching him play. And go ahead, Keith.
I couldn't believe that was his first game on the first power play unit. And I know Marty did that last year with Hudson. He didn't start on PP1 right away, kind of let him see the game. And I saw an article that Marty said, I wanted to make sure he can do it on the far side, but it's actually insane to me. The vision that he has, the poise, like especially in tight. The second pass that he made to Slavkovsky was just, like you said, everyone else is banging that into shin pads, but the coolest thing that you see is him working on this stuff in practice. Like nowadays you get to see video footage of what guys are working on in practice and then translating it into their games. It's amazing, but he isn't just bringing it on the power play. Like he forechecks like a bastard. He's stick on puck everywhere. Anytime he's on the ice, you have to have an ISO cam on it because he's doing something special. I love him. But my favorite player for them so far this year is Mike Matheson. Contract year for him.
He's so fast.
Him and Dobson have been unbelievable. I think Matheson's +7 playing against. I think he's got 10 or 7 points or something like that.
All first line matchups too.
All first line matchup playing unbelievable contract year. He's going to get paid. You can just tell he's comfortable there. He's from Montreal. He's bilingual. He can talk to the French media. Just a perfect fit there. So I got to give him and Dobson a ton of credit for just the way that they've been shutting down the big boy lines and feeding, these young studs, man. Like they've got some absolutes. The goal that Caulfield scored in Edmonton, the quick when he looked like he was going behind the net and just like tapped it in, that was insane.
He looks great. And Demidov getting up to the first unit, it kind of related to, and it's brutal news for Line, but he's out 3 to 4 months with like a core injury. And St. Louis mentioned that like once he wasn't on the second unit with the injury, like it makes no sense to have Demidov there because he was almost there setting up Line. And now it's like, all right, let's get him up front. But his hands are disgusting. And
who would you compare him to? Like when they came in, like who were,
dude, like
you said a little bit of Kirill. Little bit of Kirill,
Kucherov.
He's
unbelievable.
He's got like Kirill, but he's intense, like Sid is too. Like anytime there's a loose puck, like he's battling his ass off. Like he's got that gear in him where there's no quit in his game. He's battling his dick off every single time he's on the ice. So he's got a little bit of Sid and a little bit of Kirill in him for me, which is, you know, 2 future Hall of Famers. So,
and that you guys talked about the like putting it to shin pads or just like calmly sliding it over to the guy where you process that information. Like in my head, it's like fucking you're in a war zone, right?
Yeah.
Where him, it's just
panic time.
Yeah, he knows where everybody is, just calmly makes that move, or in some cases taps it to himself. And the deception thing too, you're talking about, like goalies are so good at the National League level. So when he gets it and he puts his hips towards the net and he's looking as if he's going to shoot, that goalie has to truly slide over and honor what he's about to do. So then when he slides it over, it's buying his shooters that, well, sometimes the goalies don't even get over in time where you have the whole net to shoot at. Or if they do, you still have half the net if you can get it off in that window. So like you guys talked about, a lot of subtleties to his games where you're seeing like, holy fuck, they've all of a sudden got this guy who's coming in his first full year who's contributing the way he is. That is just, they're all systems go. And the Matheson thing, like, I think that was a Hextall move. Like, he was so good for Pittsburgh. They should have beat the Rangers that 1 year in playoffs. And he was a key guy back there. And then they were down to their third string goalie, where I don't know if when he came in, he thought there needed to be all these moves made, where Matheson ends up getting, I think it was for Petrie, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yes.
Like, fuck, bro. Matheson's making home like an absolute bargain deal, and the way that he's able to skate and move around, like he is so fucking good. He is so good.
Another scary thing, Keith, quickly, for people who don't like the Montreal Canadiens. Have you heard of this Alexander Zarovsky?
No.
Dude, they picked him in the second round last year, the 34th overall pick. His numbers right now are exactly what Demidov did in the KHL.
Wow.
So, like, and they have this kid Haig at Michigan, who's a complete stud. They took in the first round, big righty center, probably be Demidov's center at some point. Biz, the Montreal Canadiens this year and in the future are going to work the Leafs over. Like, it makes me, my plums, I can feel it in my plums how much better they are set up for the future than your Toronto Maple Leafs. Just
the Montreal Canadiens?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who wins a cup first?
What?
Montreal.
Why the fuck are you bringing it back to start an argument with me about the Toronto Maple Leafs? You fucking asshole.
That was a low blow. That was a low blow. I appreciated it, but it was a low blow.
Yeah. Hey, I guess I could safely admit that, yeah, Toronto's kind of in the back half of their opportunity to win a Stanley Cup. Like, they've had the last 3-4 years of like, why are you fucking looking like that? What is this?
When I thought about before the show, maybe bringing this back somehow to Toronto, I couldn't have dreamed of a response like this. This is just what I wanted, baby.
Yeah. And did you think I was going to be like a Pasha in denial? Like, you think I'm that?
I didn't know what to expect. Listen, hey, to get ahead of this, I'm also kind of deflecting from the Oilers just looking like trash. So maybe I'm kind of, what's the word when you just deflecting? Is that
you're deflecting.
I'm deflecting.
And I'm not going to take the bait. And I think so if we're going to talk about the Leafs, big win against the Buffalo Sabres. So if they wouldn't have won that one, they would have lost. What'd you say?
Congrats, you beat the Sabres.
Sabres are looking better.
They've been playing good. They've been playing
Sabres
good.
They won 4 of their last 5 before that.
Yeah.
They're playing great, buddy. We just had fucking Shane Doan on to talk about Josh. Show some fucking respect, bro. Jesus. God, you got me. Okay, going back to the Leafs, they lost the home and home against Detroit. You can't lose the home and home against Buffalo. That would be a very devastating start. Although every year they're not the best of starters, kind of like we talked about Edmonton. They go about 500 through 12 to 15 games, and then everybody's trying to fucking create drama and bullshit. Now, obviously, I saw a little bit of an issue as far as team morale when they weren't sticking up for Stolarz. That's okay. We addressed that. That's a good thing to learn early. Much like we talked to JML about them working out their power play issues early on in the season. We knew Marner was going to be a tough hole to fill. and guys would have to take on new responsibilities. I was very happy with Michelli in preseason. That's not regular season hockey. He's starting to play a little bit better. Dakota Joshua, he's starting to find his groove and rhythm over the past few games.
He had the winner, right? Against Buffalo? The winning goal?
No, I believe that JT got the winner in overtime. I think
I think Joshua
scored
had one.
Yeah, I think he scored in back-to-back games as well, first as a Toronto Maple Leaf. So there's some things and holes that they're going to have to figure out. But I think that everybody could agree that in order to have success in playoffs, the money had to be spread out into different areas where those guys are going to have to find their groove and they're going to have to click for Toronto Maple Leafs to have success. But we got our goalie. We got a solid back end where I hope that we can improve at the deadline. And we got a really good forward group that I hope we can improve maybe a little twinkle to or at the deadline. So I'm Gucci as a Toronto Maple Leafs.
Back.
Wool's back.
Yeah.
And we also don't have any horrendous contracts like the Edmonton Oilers. Like you guys, we don't allow guys.
I'm going to pee while you talk about the Oilers.
No, we don't allow our guys to get offer sheeted.
He just ran away, Biz.
That tells you exactly what you need to know. He deflects,
just like the
all
Oilers.
Of a sudden I back up my team, and then I put it into his plate or on his plate, and he fucks off and goes and takes a dump, just like his goddamn team.
Just like the Oilers have played this year, like Witt, uninspired to be part of this conversation. They are uninspired. They look like they don't give a shit, man.
Buddy.
Like I was texting
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was texting Witt during the Montreal game. I'm like, man, they just look like I don't know if they're just like waiting for playoffs to start, but
waiting for the ref to make a call in their favor is what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. But even like when they're scoring goals, like Bouchard scored the other night, who hasn't had the best start. Like they're not even that excited. They're just like, oh, okay, all right. Yeah. It's like, guys, we got to get excited here. And I know they've played a lot of hockey in the last few years, but like at the end of the day, you got to be inspired to go out and win games every night, and especially when you're a team that's a cup contender this year going into the year, right?
Hey guys,
that was the quickest pee ever
for a hot second.
I know.
There. Can you guys hear me?
To get back to the show, sprinting to get back to the show. Bad news in Pittsburgh. Ricard Raquel surgery on his left hand. Supposed to be 6 to 8 weeks. That kind of sucks, but they've been surprisingly really good. I mean, like, I never saw this coming. I don't think it's going to last. The entire hockey world, except for the city of Pittsburgh, doesn't want it to last because they somehow want to see Sid on another team. That would just be the ultimate content machine for the game. But Malkin looks like 10 years ago. He's dominating. Crosby looks great. And I think it's kind of
looks great.
Ryan Shea, shout out Ryan Shea. Talk about grinding it out and earning it. He had a beautiful goal against Columbus the other night. He's playing a shitload. Looks awesome. Very happy for him. He's got connections to me and Keith through his dad and be it from Milton. Awesome kid, great player. I'm very happy for him. But it is pretty cool seeing the Penguins play this well. It's early, but I didn't see it coming at all. And I'm happy for Dan Muse as well.
Yeah,
right.
Gino, 14 points through 9 games is fucking insane. I think I said it a couple episodes ago. Like, he must see this money that the guys are getting. He's like, I'm gonna fucking bring it this year. Sign a 2-year, whatever, $10 million, $12 million deal.
Well, if Marchand's playing until he's 48, he might as well.
Yeah. That's true.
Guys, I will say that this is the first inkling of like being a Dubas believer in what he's doing in Pittsburgh.
Really?
I think that I'm still critical of the Gensel move, because if you want to win now or in this next window, if you're not going to move on from Crosby, like if Crosby and Malkin and Letang play the way they've played and they get goaltending, there's a few moves to be made where I trust this team to go on another run. Wow. I could see it. Hey, what do you mean, bud? Listen, Whit, you look at me like I'm fucking crazy. I think they got a better chance than your fucking Oilers.
Now I know you're just
that I was obviously fucking around. That was a shot at you for going to take a quick deuce. in avoiding the Oilers talk and a few of those bad contracts. He was saying how they look uninspired a little bit. And I could see where a team who's been finals back-to-back years are like first 20 games of the season, fuck off.
Yeah.
Text me in January when shit starts mattering. So although I can defend you, but if they get goaltending, Pittsburgh can be a playoff team if these guys play the way they play. Like the Crosbys, the Malkin. No?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Now, can Brazeau continue this? Like, if he does, big if, yes.
And they got Hazy will come back at some point.
Hazy will come back. The Raquel injury sucks.
Yeah,
brutal.
He's nice. He's nice. But happy for Penguins fans. Right?
I would
didn't expect anything.
Sure.
I would never count out those three guys if they were to get in the playoffs and they were to get solid goaltending.
Chris Letang, 600th assist in the National Hockey League. Only 20 defensemen have done that. 20.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
I think so. Did he ever win in Norris?
No,
I don't think so. I think he will get into the Hall of Fame. I think
keep in mind, Pittsburgh's got $12 million in cap space for the deadline.
Yeah. I know.
They can go get Gensel back.
I don't even know if they have much to deal to get anything. Go get guys. After we recorded Thursday, unfortunately, Celebrini and Will Smith put on an absolute clinic at Madison Square Garden. I tweeted out the big dogs always show up at MSG. That was electric. That was and that was after their interview on the street with this Judy Jupiter lady or whatever her name is. I saw one comment looking like she's got him held hostage. The funniest thing was in her post on Instagram, she mentioned it was the third take. She had done different takes with
fourth take.
Did she get Will Smith at another bar?
No, I think it was inside that place.
Yeah.
She's like, stand up, turn around.
Yeah.
So
Let me see your ass.
I think we can all credit the head coach for saying that he would give up one of his children for a victory. That's what the catalyst was in order to get this party started. Now,
did he give up a kid?
Yes, he did.
Oh, he did.
No. He kept them all. He was able to.
He did.
Yeah, it was
okay. I heard a
news.
conflicting rumor.
Kid department. Big news right there.
I heard it was a little bit of a stress reliever. He was able to figure things out for the power play, make some adjustments with not being as stressed, and bingo bango, the Young Bucks light up MSG. Now, the Rangers,
they're legit horrible.
I do not want to watch them play hockey.
No, they're on that list. They're on that. The Flames looked like the '88 Oilers against them Sunday. It was pathetic. It was unbelievable.
My only thing is they're really good defensively, like their defensive numbers, and Shesterkin's been unbelievable. Like, do you think Sully, this is the way he's trying to get them to play, and then the goals will come? Because defensively, on paper, it's pretty good. I talked to a Rangers fan actually when we were in Greensboro, and he's like, I know they're not winning and not scoring, but I like the way that they're playing. If they can get into the playoffs, they could win playing like this. So I just don't know if it's Sullivan, if this is what he's trying to get them to play like. It has to be, right? But at some point, to keep the guys happy, you have to score fucking goals.
And play offense. You gotta make plays.
I think that if you're getting buy-in from everyone and they see how well they're playing overall, as opposed to allowing all these 10 bell opportunities. I think the biggest criticism over the last 3-4 years was the amount of opportunities. Not only they give up high danger, but also a lot of east to west. They're allowing these seam passes where you're like, holy fuck, this is just pond hockey essentially. Mm-hmm. I think that if the coach is being positive with them and being like, boys, I'm not going to ride you or be mad at you because we're not winning every game. I think it's more about the morale in the locker room. If they're feeling good about themselves, and I maybe know that they're not scoring, and everyone feels great when they're leaving the rink after a W and they've got 1-1, and they're all of a sudden going to Hell's Kitchen for the fucking best food they've ever ate, right? Life, isn't that a place in New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going for some of the finest cuisine. But I think if Sullivan's going in there and being like, boys, keep at it, this is going to translate to wins, and they're not getting harped on night in, night out, and the fans are recognizing their efforts, I think that's a solid thing in the locker room. But I'm just saying, for me to watch them and for my expectations, I don't think they're a playoff team. But agreed on all fronts. If they're playing well defensively and they're getting timely scoring, you can ride a guy like Shesterkin to like a conference final.
Yeah, he's
You
a
could do
because all their defensive stats, the under the hood Pasha stuff, they're top 10 in the league in everything defensively, but offensively, besides faceoffs, they're bottom the league, like in the 20s to 30s. It's bad.
They are
Like,
way more likely.
if
way
I had
more likely to deal Panarin, not make the playoffs than they are go to the conference finals.
Right. But if I had a genie in a bottle and I rubbed it and it came out and granted me 3 wishes, I would burn one of those wishes on the New Jersey Devils meeting them in the first round and the Rangers beating them. Pasha and his Rangers.
Yes.
And
That
his
is,
Devils.
hey, thank you for that.
I
That's
would
great.
waste one of those wishes on having that guy have to fucking come on this goddamn Zoom or whatever you call these StreamYards and defend his New Jersey Devils. So
what would
who
your other
knows?
2 wishes be?
I
More
would save
Toms.
him. I would save him. Obviously, Leafs going on a run. Like I obviously winning a cup, but I feel it would be fun to say, just give me Leafs Oilers and let's let the boys figure them out themselves.
Yes,
that would be
no more podcast. Awesome. I don't have a job.
That would be number 2. That would be a hockey genie if we're keeping it strictly hockey.
And
then
and
if I
watch out, Biz, for these Rangers fans, because they are really starting to turn on Lafreniere. It is starting
well,
to
it's
like
kind of like the Leafs, man. There's
They
always
already
going to
have
be.
turned on him before, too, no, right?
not really. It's been like still young, and he
I
was
haven't seen too
unreal when
much
they
of it.
lost to Florida. He was incredible in that conference
Yeah.
final. I don't know. It's gonna get louder, and it's gonna get louder, and it's gonna continue as much as he plays the way he is right now.
When we were just in New York and walking around the city, I mean, we were right outside of MSG. How many Lafreniere jerseys did we see?
I know, but they thought they were getting like a Matthews, like first overall pick. And
I haven't seen too much of the hate. Maybe it's just not in my For You section. It's more so reading Edmonton Oilers fans about the Bouchard contract. That's more in my For You.
Bouchard has the second most points per game in the history of the playoffs by a defenseman. The only
I'm
guy ahead of him
just-
is Bobby fucking Orr. So wait till January to talk about the Oilers. That's all I'm saying. The contract right now looks horrific. Hey, Celebrini has 10 points.
Can I ask you if I gave you 2 collectively my 3rd wish out of the hockey genie bottle, what would you say? And you
That
can't
your wish
say a
would be?
Stanley Cup.
For you or for us? Like if we're
For
you're
you
giving
guys,
us a wish.
I would say that
But
Crosby
you can't
goes
take
to
a cup?
What?
You can't win a cup?
No, you could say I would want Oilers back the 3rd time. I want the trilogy of them in the finals against Florida. I feel like winning a Stanley Cup is too easy. You have to ask for like a scenario.
I would
Like,
take
for me-
I would take with my first wish Brady Kachuk to come to the Florida Panthers.
That would be what
I don't even want 2 more wishes. I just want that one.
If you can't get a title with the wish, just give me US, Canada, and Italy in the gold medal game. If I can't wish to win, just give me that. Give me that again, and give me the knots in my stomach.
Yeah,
watching that game at whatever it'll be 7.
And
in the
make sure
morning.
it's overtime.
Oh,
4-3 overtime.
oh, and
Golden
Crosby
goal.
gets it
Golden
and I
goal.
just,
Oh,
away.
Pasha would be in shambles on a Jack Hughes turnover. Could you imagine that? And then the first
That's
round
your wish?
exit on behalf of the New York Rangers when Devils probably win the division. Oh my God. Give it to me, hockey genie.
I don't see a world with Celebrini not on Team Canada. He looks that dominant right now. 5 goals, 5 assists in his last 4 games, involved in 2 OT winners. So just an incredible player. And we got to talk about DraftKings right now, guys. Hockey's back this season. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, brings you all the speed, skill, and false information like Demigod. All the action you love. DraftKings Sportsbook delivers the unmatched intensity of the NHL right to your fingertips. From player props to the thrill of live in-game betting, every drop of the puck is your shot to win big. New customers This one's for you. Bet just $5. If your bet wins, you get paid out $300 in bonus bets instantly. Light the lamp all season long with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Chiclets. That's code Chiclets to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets. If your bet wins in partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. So, guys, I got a little question for you, a little trivia. We've done this before.
Well, before we get there, Whit, I just got a text from a listener. They think that Hockey Genie should be a segment every month. What would be your hockey wish this one? I'll even dress up in a genie outfit. A little belly shirt.
I was going to say belly shirt. Oh. So everyone that's watching this right now, that's what this dude does at dinner. He lifts his shirt up and scratches his belly, and you're looking at his bare-chested, hairy belly.
I'm a man.
Getting scratched in the middle of like Nobu. It's like, dude,
I'm a man. Get me a glass of milk.
That's what he does. This is at restaurants. It's fucking crazy.
No,
crazy.
it's not.
Guys,
It's
Ovi. Ovi played his 1500th game.
In your appetizer.
Can you guys name the other 7 players that played 1,500 games with one organization?
Ray Bourque, Patrick Marleau, Nick Lidstrom, Gordie Howe, Delvecchio.
There's 2 more or 1 more?
I can't believe you guys have
Ray Bourque.
One of them. There's 2 more. I cannot believe.
Did you already say Ray Bourque?
Stevie Y,
Mario
Raymond
Lemieux?
James, Shane Doan,
Donor.
Gordie
Well,
Howe,
he was
Marleau,
going on a run there, so I didn't want to interfere with his run.
I thought Donor would be first. He was on last episode, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, what the fuck,
For
Keith?
frig's sake. So, the Ovi story started off a little slow. Actually, Keith, somebody asked us on our group chat, do you think this is Ovi's last year? I kind of keep forgetting. I think it is too.
Yes.
Considering that the worker for the Capitals told us it was.
Yes. And I feel like last year wasn't a distraction. He seems like a type of guy where he just wants to, be a part of the group and not have to have all the focus on him all the time. I feel like last year with the lead up to the goal chase, like that's probably a lot on him. So if he announces that it's his last year, he has to go through that again this whole year, where that could be emotionally draining. So if it is, and they are keeping it in-house, I completely understand why they're doing it. And once again, he seems like the type of guy where he's like, I have to do this and talk about this for the sake of the game, and I'm grateful I'm breaking this record. But he also seems like I don't want all the attention type guy.
And I had it all last year.
Last year.
Maybe after Olympics he announces it or something.
That could be.
But if they're they're like sitting in a playoff spot, which I think they will be. It's like,
I know people hate when I say this, but the fact that if it is his last year and it is Malkin's last year, fuck, man, like it would have been fucking nice to see him in the Olympics.
Use one of your wishes for that.
We can't. I don't want to go there.
Belly button lint got into the bottle. It's not.
Did you guys see the video that Ray Bourque, Lidstrom, Patrick Marleau, Stevie Y, and Donor did for Ovi? Just about playing for the same team 1,500 games. It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was awesome. I don't know if they can.
Is it did you get it sent to you, or is it on the internet?
No, they just sent it to me. Yeah, I don't know why they sent it to me and not Ovi. It was weird. No, yes, it was on the internet.
Oh, okay. Sometimes they keep those things like private where they get. That's not.
How the hell would he have had it?
That wasn't a stupid question.
Ask the chat if that was a stupid question.
Yeah, buddy. Some of those videos that those guys get are for personal, especially of guys of that stature. Like Stevie Y is not a guy who wants shit being seen public all the time. So I don't think I thought the fact that you would have gotten your hands on that and not the public eye is not that crazy. Why are you fucking making that fucking face? Stop making that fucking face.
He hates that face when you do that, Whit.
Hey, it's like
when you do it with Dave and Kurt.
When you know what bothers somebody, that's like that's my wish from the genie. I got it today, knowing that my face can make you explode in anger.
When your fucking lip quivers,
I
want to punch my fucking screen.
Go, Habs, go. Another Russian making waves. Cooch, 1,000 points. Legend. stud, gamer. Did you see his celebration on the goal? He's like this because they'd called back a goal earlier.
So good.
Good. Cooch. Doesn't give a fuck. Disgusting at hockey. Incredible player. 1,000 points. The Canucks traded for Lucas Reichel for a 4th-round pick. Kind of a funny. Hazy.
We can't hear him. You got to put the thing up to the fucking mic, you dummy.
Say hi, James. Hey.
Say hi, James.
Hazy, how you feeling?
They said, how are you feeling, Hazy? Feeling great.
Googa with his kid right now. Oh, he's
For the first time.
Hell yeah,
He's
brother.
rubbing a bottle right now.
Why doesn't he hop on the StreamYard?
All right, later. What?
Tell him to hop on the StreamYard.
What else did I have? Oh, G said he loves this trade for Vancouver. G, can you hop on and tell us why you love this trade of Lucas Reichel?
I didn't say I love it. I just said I liked it.
I think you said I love it.
-2 is first game.
No, I just said I liked it. I think it's a high risk. A kid who a low risk, high reward. A kid who was drafted in the first round has all the skill to be good. It's just maybe he needed a new fit, a new change of space. He requested the trade too. So I don't know. I think it could just be I love the idea of low risk, high reward deals like that.
And they
4th rounder.
He obviously plays center, right?
He can play a center or left wing, but a lot of people are saying he's really not a center.
Well, that's where they're going to need some help. Although,
That's why
listen,
they're looking at Pavel Zacha. You're hearing all the rumors about that.
okay, so he can't play center either. The early in the season, Petey wasn't putting up many points, but from a few of the games that I watch, I was very impressed with the way that he's like laying out, blocking shots, competing. Like, so people might argue, hey, is he playing up to 11.5 million? Maybe not. But I really like what he's brought in so far from an overall game. Now, I'm not saying he was always pretty solid defensively. I think at one year he even got like strong consideration for the Selke, but laying out and eating pucks when you're tied or up a goal late in games or even down a goal, and just him laying out, putting it on the line, something Jans obviously never did, something you never did either, Whit. So I just wanted to make sure that he got the recognition.
I like the fact that he's shooting more. It looks like he was when he first came in the league. Like he's looking to shoot, especially on the power play, hitting more one-timers. Blocking shots is for the birds. He doesn't need to do that. So
goalies have pads for a reason.
Goalies have pads.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it. I like the way he's going offensively more than defensively, but obviously you got to bring both parts of the game.
Yeah.
Brendan Shanahan's back with the NHL hockey operations department. Saw that news hit the wire. Shanny, he promised us he'd come on, or was it if the Leafs won the cup, he'd come on?
I texted him. He said he's thinking about it.
So
we'll
I met a buddy of his who at a golf tournament, and they're very good friends for a long time. And the guy's a huge Chiclets fan. Great dude. He said, I will get on him. I will relentlessly be on him to come on the show. So,
where would you like to, or what team do you think could use him in management? Like if you could pick a place for him to go where it's a team, an organization, you're like, I feel like they could use him right now. Where do you think would be a good fit? Oh, somebody just
Carolina.
No,
what about Chicago? What about Chicago?
Carolina? They love Tusky, and he's done a fairly good job. This is a great answer from Pasha. If he goes, well, it's time to let Chris Drury go. That's Pasha's comment.
I don't co-sign on that.
I don't co-sign on that yet either.
Stay on the other side of the Hudson, Pasha.
Pasha's unbelievable. Like this guy, like the Devils are 8-1. He actually is acting like they won the cup. Like it's a fucking joke.
Getting very cocky. Very cocky. That's what he does, though.
Like, buddy, do you not remember every other year how long these seasons are? Like
he's talking about this one kid who's been playing really well for him, a forward, and he's like, "Oh, like this guy's the real deal." And I said, "You also said that about the Russian kid last year, the defenseman," but he backed that up too, basically saying, "Oh, he was one of the best defensive defensemen in the league last year. His under the hood stats say that."
He's an idiot.
He's
an idiot.
He's a moron.
A clown.
Yeah. And I love that he can't come on and say anything out with us saying this.
Yeah.
That's
saw this tweet, and it's early, right? We're saying that's how stupid Pasha is, but If the playoffs started today, Utah would be the top seed in the Western Conference. Montreal would win the Atlantic. Pittsburgh, Seattle, Chicago, Detroit would make the playoffs. Edmonton, Toronto, and Tampa Bay would miss. So a fun start to the year. That's
Just the way we
Scott
want it.
Wheeler. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Biz,
One other
last thing,
random
there's
thing that
nothing.
popped in my head quickly is Mason Marchment. Did you see him do the fake punch
to
and
Logan
then laugh
Stanley.
at the guy?
To Logan
As somebody who's fallen for that many a times, I don't think that was that nice.
I don't think it's nice. And I also, it's very funny, but like, who isn't going to flinch? Like,
Kobe. Kobe's the only person to ever not flinch. Remember when Barnes faked the ball in his face and he just stood there?
Yeah. I forgot.
He's the only
that.
guy.
I think personally, if you do that, that's a 1-game suspension. As somebody who's fallen for the fake punch,
Who got you with that?
Oh, who
me
didn't?
in practice.
Who didn't get me with that?
I
That
can't
is-
even get my kids. My kids look at me. Wyatt headbutts me.
It's an embarrassing moment. I think it was Logan Stanley for the
Yeah, and
Winnipeg
he's
Jets.
huge,
And
too.
he's like 6'7", so makes it look even worse. But also, I agree with you. Like, who's not going to flinch? And especially when it's Mason Marchment, like he plays on the edge. So I'm thinking that's hit me right on the button. I have no clue that he's not going to do it and then giggle at me after.
Like maybe one of my wishes would be 2 for flinch and not being a term because I've had it happen to me so often. I don't want to be made fun of every time. So Jeannie, get rid of the first person to ever say 2 for flinching. Okay? Because everyone, if they're normal, flinches.
You've now used up all 3 of your wishes. Yans, I did.
Yeah, but I got a gold medal.
I have 2 left.
What do one more for the crew before we sign off?
Pasha can never watch a Devils game.
Oh my!
I love that. Wow, we made AI.
Is that
Talk
a
about
G?
AI. They made a quick. The only problem is if that's Biz with the beard, the Stanley Cup should not.
No, it should be a picture of me going la la la, the belly shirt, la 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 la.
Seeing him scratch that in a restaurant
And
as I'm trying to
sprinkle
eat some,
my belly
crab
button lint hair
rangoon
on your
crab
appetizers.
Before we wrap up, I want to shout out breast cancer and the merchandise we have. 100% of all the proceeds go to 540. Buy some ladies some wigs. And Biz, I believe you had some something you wanted to say for Ebony at the Barstool office.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm going to have to download. I know we're live, so I'll be very quick. But Ebony, she lost her sister. Unreal. Like full of life. She's right at the door when you walk in the Barstool offices. And every time we get there, she greets us. She's funny as shit. Like her sense of humor, like very vulgar. Like she's the best, right? So I ended up getting a DM from her the other day, and we actually saw her and we were there to work, so we didn't get a chance to talk to her as long as possible. And she didn't even like mention this while we were at the offices. She waited to send me a message after I had gone. Now, she lost her sister in a car accident, unfortunately, a few weeks ago, maybe a month, and she had to take on her sister's kid as well. So she's raising 4 kids right now, and times are a little difficult. Like, I'm going to send her some money. But she also said, Biz, I don't want a handout. Like, I would like people to come support my OnlyFans. And some people might be like, oh, like trying to be judgmental, but I'm not going to knock anybody doing what they can in order to put food on the table for their kids. Fuck no. And she's such an awesome person. When she asked to do this, I said, absolutely. So we're going to post her OnlyFans, and I don't know if you have it or how exactly to do that, whether it's in the chat, whether it's on, over the screen here once it goes to YouTube, but we're going to promote her OnlyFans and anybody who is into that and wants to go support that. She's an awesome chick, like I said, and or just like send her some money because you feel terrible
through a lot.
Going through a lot and for the situation she's in. So my apologies for kind of stuttering through this because I totally forgot about it at the end of the show here, and I'm trying to. Gee, can you help me out?
We do like a GoFundMe or something, Biz, you think?
Yeah, so it's onlyfans.com/secureds. And I just want to echo what just an awesome name, but I do want to echo what Biz said is like she is the best person in the office. Like when Alana was going through all of her stuff, she was the one texting me, Instagram messaging me. So she's one of the best people in that Barstool office. And like Biz said, we're not going to judge at all.
Gee,
so
get me her Venmo.
I'll get you her Venmo. We'll
It's-
post her Venmo. Onlyfans.com/securities is the.
Yeah, we're gonna send her money on behalf of Chiclets. So anything you can do to help her out, and sometimes I completely log out on my Twitter and Instagram just to kind of get away. And I'm gonna
It's a very unfortunate situation with their sisters. I believe it was a car crash. I think,
and
she
her
was pregnant
sister
as
was
well.
pregnant as well when she got in this car accident. So just it was about 3 weeks ago, and yeah, like I said, anything you guys can do to help. She's an incredible person going through a lot. And we're going to send her some stuff and then as well. And that's OnlyFans/SecureDees. That's SecureDeez, like as in like SecureDees, not like so.
Biz, you know who was asking
OnlyFans.com.
about you the other day?
Who?
D's motherfucking nuts, bitch.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what. So 2 for flinching. 2 for flinching.
Hey, Biz,
Goddamn.
I mean, I've only been to that office twice, I think, but she reminds me of like the trainers at a hockey rink. They're always in a good mood. They gotta, they're the first person you see when you get in. They're making your life a little bit happier. That 5 seconds you're walking by, say hello. So I definitely support her, and she's doing the right thing by her family.
All right,
Jans, you fucking hit it out of the park. And for the same reason we talked about at the beginning of the podcast when Nick Mangold, like seeing all the messages from the entire Barstool family, like Barstool is a family. So when we're on the road, whether it's in Chicago or New York, like when we walk into an office before we're about to work, like just seeing those familiar faces and those people who are just like close to us, it matters. It matters. So Ebony, we love you. We're so sorry for what you're going through. And I hope that you get the support you deserve from all of our fans and of course from us, girl. And we love you. And that's somebody that we should, when we're close there going to a hockey game, we should bring her for that experience. Watching her live reaction to what's going on the ice would be fucking comedy.
That would be electric.
So
a long show. Thank you so much to Heater. Thank you so much to John Michael Liles, and a tough show, right? We're talking about hats off for Beef, right? An amazing guy.
I just want to say I love you guys. I love our fans. Tell everyone, tell your loved ones and your family members, your friends, tell them that you love them because you never know what's going to happen.
100%. Well said. So everyone have a great week, and we'll talk to you on Friday.